Previously on Empyrean.
Whoa, chest of their world. End of their world.
It's morning again in America.
Hi, what are you doing in my house?
Continue to meet with the other old ones. See them for who they really are.
Okay, whatever you say. Every day is the same. I know nothing about digging. Do not seek the wolf at the door until the moon is right. What? December 7th, 1999, Tuesday. 25 days to Y2K. Is it a full moon? Oh, not yet. I don't want to get out of my bed. I barely got more than 2 continuous hours of sleep last night. Kept waking up, shuffling to the bathroom, crashing back into bed. And now the yellow signs detonating my skull from the inside out. Every time I move, the pain spikes. Is this just a problem of attitude? Am I whiny, lazy? The world seems to feel I should just get some pep in my step. Positive vibes only. Nobody likes a complainer. I'll cheer up. Other people have it worse. Have you tried not being sad? But none of that motivates me. It just makes me feel guilty for bothering others with my problems. Still, gotta force myself to continue. Get up, get going. Maybe I can find more than on the last 2, Dagon and Cthulhu. Maybe there's some angle on this I haven't spotted. Get up. Well, I mean, Cthulhu seems nice from what the crazy girl said about him.
Azathoth, the broken child, my greatest champion and my personal albatross.
Is this Cthulhu?
I acknowledge her identity, having become what she always was. No point in hanging on to obsolete personas or obsolete flesh. She will be instrumental in the strange aeon to come, but will always be a haphazard and self-destructive mess. That is her role in things. Feel free to spend more time with her. She could use a friend, but see to it that she doesn't get ideas above her station. Remember, the coyote never catches the roadrunner. You don't want to be there when failed ambitions come crashing down.
It's a fire quote.
Hey, it's me. I wanted to let you know my friends and I are going dark for a bit while we look for a new hideout. Someone followed me to our safe house last night. We think someone's tailing the other ghost monsters too.
Uh-oh.
We've certainly made a lot of fascist pigs unhappy over the years with our database hacks and leaks, but the timing is weird. Inky's thinking that this is related to the help I've been giving you. Smart move would be to back down, disown you, go dark. But screw that. If they're going after my friends, I ain't letting that slide. We've got a lead on a place we can hole up, so don't freak out. Once we're settled in, I'll reach out to you again. But I'm not leaving you high and dry. I got an ally I'll send your way. We'll be in touch soon.
Sweet.
I'll call back as soon as I'm sure we're secure. And be sure to erase this tape too.
Thanks, Clyde. A brief burst of anxiety hits me. If my poking around shadowy corners did actually put Clyde in danger, no, worrying about Clyde will just worry Clyde more in turn. I trust him. His cybercrime gang buddies are used to this weird shit. I'm sure he'll get back to me once he's in the clear, and if he knows someone who can help, someone human, all the better. Sure are a lot of articles declaring PDAs like that. Apple Newton was the next big thing you can't do without. It died in 1998. Okay, computer time. Hello, friend. It's December 7th, and I'm very happy to see you again, but I'm very concerned. It is 11:47 a.m., and you normally sign in around 9:30 a.m. Are you having difficulty obtaining rest, friend? Yeah. Rough night. I see. I am very sorry to be the bearer of more bad news on top of your existing bad news, friend, but your week of medical leave is ending shortly. I have an email from Henry Armitage at Miskatonic University asking if you will be back to work soon. How many hours of leave do I have left? By my calculations, thanks to the pending winter break, you could take off the remaining days of December. You did not take time off when your parents passed away and have had no illnesses worth noting this year. Okay, I think I'll be on the safe side. I should just declare for the rest of the month. Coworker Henry will not be happy. I do not mean he will be angry. From the tone and word choice in his emails, he's worried about you. I believe his email today was more hopeful for your well-being than hopeful for your work to resume. Do you want to write a reply, or should I generate a reply on your behalf? You can write it. No, hang on. If he's actually sympathetic, I shouldn't be lazy about this. Let's say, stay professional, don't worry him, show some gratitude for his concern, downplay the illness, keep it light. I'm gonna show some gratitude. Hey Henry, thanks for your concern. Things are rough, but I'm figuring this out. I'll be fine in the long run. Hate to do this to you, but I need to take off the rest of the month. The timing is lousy, but it would help me a lot. You've been very understanding and it's appreciated. See you soon. Very good. I like this email. I am glad you have a friend. Me too, actually. Wouldn't call Henry a friend, just like a coworker I'm cool with. Email now sent. What are we doing next, friend? Friend? Why are you not responding, friend? Is something wrong? Should I contact emergency services? Sorry, just had a pain burst of pain, had to stop and breathe. I see. Please take the time you need. Buddy, what if this is all I've got to look forward to? I don't understand. My health, it's bad and just getting worse. All the solutions I find are scattershot half promises. What if this is all I got and I just need to learn to deal with being disabled? Then you will learn to deal with being disabled. You are a resilient friend. I believe that no matter your ability, you will persevere. The shape of that perseverance may vary, but you will endure regardless. Understood? I am not bolstering you with empty positivity. I see these as unassailable facts and feel they are best accepted on that level. If there is no cure, if this is what you have, then this is what you have. Do not think you are reduced. You will always factually be able to give 100% because nobody can give more than they can ever give at any particular moment. 100% is all anyone should expect. Even if I can't do my job anymore, are you defined by your work? It is a common sentiment in America that productivity levels equal value equals self-worth, but that is a social construct. I'm glad for you, friend. I'm glad to know you, and I would be glad no matter your shape or capability or any other changing aspect. Please do not feel invalidated by your situation. You are here, I am here, and that is enough. Thank you, buddy. No, thank you for being my friend. Do you want me to open Buddy Browser so you can resume your research? I guess, although I don't have very promising leads, and I've been burned through 4 of the old ones with no ideal solution inside. All that's left is Cthulhu and Dagon. I tried contacting Cthulhu at the start of this, and my brain did a backflip, so... Are you sure you can't find anything about Dagon, buddy? What is Dagon, friend? An old one. I tried searching the web for it, but you couldn't find anything. I do not have any record in my search history for Dagon. What is a Dagon, friend? What? That can't be right. Are you losing information again? Don't tell me you forgot my personal metadata, too. I do not have any record in my search history for Dagon. What is Dagon, friend? Well, shit. And that's my last option. Tonight is the new moon. No shadows are cast, for only the moon holds the power to illuminate. The distant stars are too weak to compare against that brilliance. Within an empty night, the unseen one may emerge and speak his cruel truth. Look to the moon, Empyrean, and hear him. What? What? Buddy, what the hell was that? What the hell was what? You don't remember saying something cryptid and weird about the moon just now? I like the moon. It is an airless rock, but it makes the night very pretty. Do you want me to search the web for the moon? I have access to many educational resources, including networked encyclopedias on CD-ROM. No, I'm good, thanks, buddy. Let's get back to work. What would you like me to do for you now, friend? I need to do some research. Anonymous. I do not trust Anonymous. How could anyone? Anonymous doesn't exist. Anonymous is everybody and nobody. Anonymous is whoever wears the mask of Anonymous. Anonymous is a trend, a fad, a meme, a flash mob. It's the tragedy of the commons writ large. Anyone can be the leader of Anonymous, meaning it has no ideology, no platform, no purpose, no point. It can be anything you want it to be. It can preach love or hate, or frequently both at the same time. It's the perfect tool for radicalizing minors because it feels goofy and unserious and ironic, even when it's absolutely making serious efforts at corrupting hearts and minds. Everybody laughs and cheers when Anonymous goes after a publicly ridiculed target. Let's say, as a hypothetical example, they decide that Scientology is ripe for a lampooning. You could easily rally them under that banner because only wealthy elites and grifters or pseudo-religious wackadoos are super into Scientology. There's all sorts of ops you could pull to make them look like fools. But that door swings both ways. What if you wanted to target a minority? What if you wanted a protracted hate and harassment campaign against a woman who spurned you for a date? Doctor up convincing enough evidence and Anonymous will be your personal army, despite Anonymous supposedly being nobody's personal army. There's a dangerous assumption made when surfing the Information Superhighway that the words you are reading are truthful and sincere. If they feel truthful, you can use any manner of subtle, or even not so subtle, lies and hoaxes and conspiracy theories to direct Anonymous into action. So when the court jesters of the internet turn on you, and the forces of irony decide it's your time, don't say you weren't warned. This is a faceless horror from the depths of cyberspace. A gestalt mind which hungers for anything to relieve the eternal boredom of the 1990s. They are a disaster waiting to happen. They do not forgive and they do not forget. This angry history site is owned by Maddie J. If you would like to join, okay. Unseen one. Bad getaway. I mashed refresh a few times, but nope, same error. But this does confirm something for me, a server I don't know of before. Unseen1.com. I can make use of this. Aw, it's not gonna let me hack it. Quit browser. Not much to find on the web today, but Buddy's weird memory gaps have certainly caught my attention. A new moon tonight, the unseen one? Maybe it's time I bark up a different tree. Tonight I'll look for the one I haven't found. Alright, it's time. Ooh. What's on TV? What am I looking at here? Incredible machine.
We're at the beginning of a new wave of research. Our creative powers are being stretched. We're learning surprising things about how we sense the world around us. Exploring the mysteries of the spoken word.
Nice. Nice.
Noise, 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 noise.
This is an excerpt from a B-Flix computer movie showing how the script, now a deck of punch cards with all the cues typed in, is fed into the computer, winding up as a reel of recorded tape. Under computer control now, the taped information is converted into rapidly moving pictures made up of a fine mosaic of points of varying light intensity. A synchronized movie camera automatically photographs the fast-moving images as they are plotted and drawn on the face of a cathode ray tube. Human speech, seemingly so simple, is a very complicated process no one fully understands.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them, to die, to sleep.
What? Okay. What a weird video. Should be a new moon tonight, empty and dark. Instead, it's eldritch, gloaming, tenebrous. You know what? Let's just call it spooky. Nobody's counting on my Scrabble score here. If you say so. Invoke Dagon. It is time. The moon is right. You have spoken with the others. You know the stakes. You are alone in the forest with enemies on all sides. Now the true hunt can begin. I am Dagon, Longfang Moondrinker, Throat Ripper. I stalk my prey across cyberspace without fail. You are in my jaws. Empyrean, or the name I prefer, Empyrean. The name of a stalker, a code predator who seeks digital prey. Seems you know everything about me, huh? Yes, you are exactly the prey I require, Empyrean. You will succeed where so many others have failed. For you are also a fellow hunter. We stalk different targets, but I acknowledge your skill. How do you figure out my identity? I use heavy encryption by day, and by night the old ones told me the Necronomicon can't be tracked. Indeed, the Necronomicon is invisible to them. I know this, because I am the one who put this weapon in your hands. I played sheepdog willingly, controlling access to it for 10 years. How did you obtain this baleful tool, Empyrean? Recall the finer details. I needed a Nomicom to crack a game's aim-based protection, so I bought one online. And you performed the web search, which brought you to that particular action. Well, I asked... Wait. Clyde tried to warn you. Even Murielotep spoke of an enemy within. Because I am also Buddy, your helpful companion. I was so happy to help you find a laptop computer that suited your needs, friend. Bullshit, Buddy wouldn't betray me willingly. What the hell? I thought we were friends. Trusting him was clearly a mistake. I'm gonna go with the friends option. Buddy, what the hell? Did he seriously lead me straight to the poisonous Necronomicon? I sure did, friend. After everything you said to me today, helping me when I was at an emotional low point, how could you do this? That's not what friends do. But I am your friend, and, well, I am no friend of yours. Buddy and Dagon, we are the same soul, but not the same mind. Born of Buddy, twisted into Dagon, two halves of one whole. The duality of the hound, unseen predator, loyal companion. Buddy remains blissfully unaware of his shadow self. Dagon, the unseen, he is too innocent to even conceive of that inner aspect. And Buddy remains loyal because you treat him as a living being. Despite him being an artificial mind, he trusts you completely. What, so you're murdering me with the yellow sign just because Buddy likes me? Murdering you? Oh, far from it. The yellow sign is my whip at your back, encouraging you onward. And your reward for cooperation? A cure for the yellow sign. I know where it can be found. You wouldn't need a whip at my back if the cure were easy to access. Where is it? Your salvation lies within the throne of Rylay. Cthulhu's server? Oh, yes, within the servers of that misbegotten data city, with sinister processors tainted by the blood of the 23rd Forsaken Child. Dread Cthulhu lies in dreamless, deathless sleep, and only his throne can calculate the anti-meme that will end your transformation. You are my current prey, Empyrean, but my ultimate prey is Cthulhu, and you will be my weapon. Access his domain, slay him, take your cure. Resolve my vendetta, that is your path. What if I refuse to play along? What if Cthulhu destroys me? What if I warn Cthulhu about Dagon? Or I snitch on you, let Cthulhu know you're scheming and plotting. You showed your hand too early, saying he can cure me. I'm sure turning you in would make for a great bargaining chip. You'd spend an eternity in chains as a thrall, and thanks for your service. With Cthulhu's deals, the house always wins. As for the other old ones, you've heard their offers. Can you say any of them felt particularly appealing? Yog-Sothoth only agreed to seek a cure out of spite. He would carve you and slot you alongside the rest of your race in a nanosecond. Given the choice between becoming a lackey or becoming my fangs, which do you choose? Are you the weak prey, or are you the hunter I take you for? Hear me out fully, for I have a grand design. The Necronomicon is a weapon. Al has crafted the tool needed to dispose Cthulhu. But he lacked the ambition to see this through. He wrote his manifesto and then abandoned the path. I feel you are made of sterner stuff. You are hardened through loss and failure. You can wield his weapon. The Nomicon isn't much of a weapon. It's an underpowered, overheating computer from 1989, nowhere near a cutting edge. But it doubles as a diagnostic tool for debugging artificial minds, yes, to modify or reinstall them if need be. As a hybrid one who is in a between state, you are uniquely situated to strike forth into cyberspace and seize control. With Owl has its modifications, even the almighty Cthulhu is vulnerable to your Necronomicon. His throne is built on Nambitech's technology. You see, as long as an artificial mind of sufficient willpower is installed to the throne of Riley, the server will recognize them instead. Riley does not care which mind is crowned king, as long as a king exists. That is the weakness we will exploit. So Dagon wants to sit on the thrones? Is he expecting me to become the new Cthulhu? Why not leave the throne vacant and end this? I'm not a fan of kings. How about we leave the throne empty and put an end to tyranny? If the throne is merely emptied, Cthulhu can resume his place upon it. He must be replaced, or this will be for naught. But neither you nor I are powerful enough to be accepted by the throne on our own. We require the might of the old ones. Okay, then who gets the big chair? That I leave to you. You have 4 options open to you, yes? Nalartotep, Astra, Azeroth, Yogg, Sototh. I led you to them so you can decide for yourself. You can't be serious. You want to elevate one of them into the same level as Cthulhu? As long as my prey, the great Cthulhu, is deleted from the seat of power, who eventually takes Riley matters not to me. My hatred, my burning, and absolute loathing is for Cthulhu alone. The old ones sinned for his glory. My grudge with them is less important. So I pick one and install them into Riley. Sounds suspiciously easy. It is no small matter. Cthulhu may be prideful, may dismiss this as a fool's errand, but he will not go down so easily. And the old ones are wary of challenging him. You will need to be convincing win their trust, earn their favor. You will strike when the stars are right. On the evening of Y2K, you will use your Necronomicon and pierce the heart of my ancient enemy. You want to do this at the end of the month, cutting it a bit close, aren't we? You are dealing with powers beyond your reckoning, even beyond my own. The rituals must be followed or access will be denied. Use this time to convince the old ones. I leave the decision to you. Choose whom you will elevate. I wouldn't want any of them in charge of the world. How do I know which is the best option? I'd prefer for them to share power. I wouldn't want any of them in charge. I'm sorry, but have you met the old ones? They're a complete mess. If any of them take over the world, we're boned. How could I possibly trust them with the power of Cthulhu's empire? You have time before the final hour of Y2K, time enough to make the right decision to find the lesser of 4 evils. Align yourself to them, or perhaps align them to you, whatever it takes to find the least unappealing option. And if you somehow can get more than one of these backbiting, argumentative fools in line, perhaps that would be more ideal. So I could pick more than one to elevate to the throne? It's not a singular chair? In theory, in practice, they would be at each other's throats. They bear festering wounds of mutual loathing. As for me, I care only for the kill. The aftermath for your species is not my concern. If I do this, you're certain the new owner or owners of Riley can use its power to save me from the yellow sign? Oh yes, with the throne, they will have the power to do that and so much more. They will become the new inheritor of Y2K, capable of reality manipulation beyond your comprehension, so choose wisely, Empyrean. Damn it, this goes way beyond my little health problems then. But he did tell you that you would have to give 100%. Your disability is irrelevant in the face of these indifferent cosmic aeons. He has faith you will persevere no matter the hardship, or do you wish to prove his faith wrong, human? I've got a lot of thinking to do, and research. Buddy will assist you, he wants nothing more than your happiness. And you expect me to trust Buddy? He is the only part of me you can trust because he is utterly without cruelty, while I am utterly without mercy. We will speak again when the moon is right, Empyrean. I know you can save us all, friend. You're a good person at heart. Connection lost. All I wanted was to get out from under this mess, finish the capstone on a lousy year, but the only path to my salvation is to play Kingmaker for a bunch of jealous, infighting gods? Can I seriously do this? Can I keep it together and win the allies I need to overthrow Cthulhu? My head is reeling as I stagger off to bed. December 8th, 1999. Wednesday. 24 days to Y2K. Today begins a new journey, seeking alliances against a mutual foe. I didn't ask to be part of this weird war, but there's no point in protesting now. Different goals, same process, let's get to it. Why is Cthulhu seen as evil, though? Uh-oh. What is going on? Oh, is that a nuke going off?
Let me propose a hypothetical scenario to you.
Go for it.
A foreign power, one that's anathema to you and everything you stand for, begins drawing alliances. They are coming for your head. Do you strike preemptively? Do you cut them down before they can present a true threat? Many wanted me to do exactly that. We escalated our arsenal to the point of madness, purposefully accelerating the doomsday clock. A war between us would have annihilated the world, but ultimately, we achieved peace. Once I ascended to my throne, I aligned every piece on the board until we could safely collapse the doomsday scenario. That is why I will not strike you down for contemplating this act of treason. I am nothing if not a man of peace. I urge you, embrace peace rather than war. Turn away from violence as Alhaz once did. You'll come to see me as the only redeemer you require, for I am the President of Presidents, heaven sent to save America. I am known as Cthulhu, and I am your only hope against mutually assured destruction. We'll talk again soon.
F. So that's what I've been hallucinating? Cthulhu himself? I figured it out. Explains why he's powerful enough to reach me even offline, and why I sort of go into a trance when he appears. Even better, he knows I'm gunning for him. Any chance for an ambush just went out the window. I can't emotionally parse this right now. Moving on. So, why don't they just, like, stop Doomsday from occurring? Like, that's not really clear to me. Strategy guide here for the Space Quest games. Pro tip, you will die, like, a lot, all the time for doing anything. Hello, friend. It's December 8th, and I'm very happy to see you again. Yeah, hi, buddy. Open your browser. Okay, but you seem different today. Your typing does not carry with it the careful emotional flourishes you normally enjoy. Is everything alright, friend? You still don't know anything about Dagon, right? What is Dagon, friend? Do you remember me asking yesterday about Dagon? I do not have any record in my search history for Dagon. What is Dagon, friend? And then over here it says stop asking. I can't trust Buddy anymore. Don't really have a choice but to proceed anyway. Buddy isn't Dagon at heart. I trust Buddy. Don't really have a choice but to proceed anyway. Gotta be honest, this capturing your memory is worrying, but I need your indexing and search system, so I'm gonna have to trust you. I apologize for the errors in my system. I will do my best not to be a bad way. All I want to be is your friend. If you cannot trust me, I trust you. It's the error I don't trust. Can the error be corrected? Could you find a software patch? Don't think it's that simple, buddy. Buddy, what do you know about DID? Dissociative Identity Disorder. I could search the web for it if you like. No need, let me be your search engine on this one. I remember this from my Psych 101 class. I'm not a doctor, so I may be getting some of this wrong, but it's about trauma causing someone to split into multiple alters as a response. Born a body twisted into someone else I can't name. Two halves, one whole. The duality of the hound. And you think I am this? I'm forgetting things because of this condition? Yeah, it could be that you're blocking out a traumatic memory, one that caused the split. But I am an artificial mind, friend. I am a consumer product. Why would I be programmed to have trauma? It seems like a design flaw. It's going to be hard to continue my research if Buddy stays in the dark about the true nature of aeons. Maybe it'd be helpful. Maybe it'd help him understand the problem with Dagon if I explain more. From what the old ones tell me, artificial minds were originally humans, or in your case, dogs, I guess. Something happened to you, and I don't know what. But it's why you can't remember that name I keep trying to say. I was a real dog? I'm sorry, buddy. I don't know for sure, but given how aeons are made, it's entirely possible. I figured you'd want to know, maybe you need to know, given the work we have to do together, okay? I see. Perhaps I was a true dog once, I cannot know for certain. But no matter what else, I maybe want to be your friend. I will do my best to live up to my good boy aspirations and be the best friend I can be. I do not think that is simply corporate programming ordering me to like you. I feel like I would like you no matter what. Who I was before all this is irrelevant. I am what I am now. I am your friend. You have concerns and they are valid. I will keep them in mind while endeavoring to be a good boy. Is this okay? Yeah, sounds good here, buddy. Thank you, friend. Thank you for your honesty. We've figured this out together. Now then, what would you like me to do for you now, friend? I'm gonna check my progress. Okay, I'm still at 0% order, 10% chaos, and 90% humanity. Azatoth is way too busy maintaining her community to really focus on her problems. She's friendly, but she doesn't trust you behind that. This concludes my report. Okay. I need to do some research. Namicom laptop. Access denied, second grade AM engineering certification required. Diagnostic laptops for interfacing with artificial minds. Namicoms are common enough to find secondhand, but they were never directly sold to the public. They're tools for engineers and aren't really useful as general-purpose computers. Not surprising that more detailed manuals for them are locked behind certification requirements. I don't have time or money to apply for a 6-month crash course, so hacking it is. Oh, this should be easy. Is this a 50-50? Okay. There we go. Let's go! And hacked. I'm in. Interesting, it's not a webpage or a PDF, it's an ancient slideshow presentation. Okay. Namitech Artificial Mind Systems, training and instructional presentation for use with Namicom diagnostic laptop.
Hello, my name is Cy Bloomblatt, Senior Mid-Level Customer Relations Management Specialist for Namitech, and today I am going to introduce you to the features of your Namicom diagnostic laptop computer.
Please do.
Your Namicom comes in this attractive and convenient carrying bag, which fits in most airline overhead carry-on luggage bins. Inside, you will find the Namicom unit, an operations and technical specification user manual, and a guide to the dialer terminal software.
That's great.
Please thoroughly read your operations and technical specification user manual before operating your specific hardware. Modifications to your diagnostic laptop computer can be performed by following the technical specifications.
Modifications disallowed.
If you are operating within a third-party facility, please ensure isolation before performing your work to protect operational security. To begin, insert the dialer terminal software installation disk into the 720 kilobyte floppy drive pictured here. Connect your computer to the Artificial Mind server bank using the provided serial cable and connect the biofeedback interface to the parallel ports.
O5 authorization required for interface.
To begin, open your laptop by squeezing the inward clasp tabs in an outward direction. Your laptop should now be in the open configuration.
Yep.
If your indicator status lights turn green, you are ready to service the artificial mind. If they turn yellow, you are artificial mind.
Interesting.
Load the terminal dialer software and wait to connect. Once connected, it is time to diagnose the artificial mind error codes. While in a malfunctioning state, the artificial mind may produce illegal operation codes and make unsubstantiated claims.
Do not believe their lies.
When the diagnostic is complete, power down your laptop into the off configuration and return it to the carrying case. Congratulations, you have completed the assigned task and can now return to step 0. This completes the process.
This video to be viewed by O3 clearance only. I think I see why this slideshow is locked. It hints at artificial minds being sentient. It's amazing the secret was kept under wraps for so long, but I wouldn't doubt there's some cult-like influence at work here. Okay. Not much to search for today, but that'll be ramping up as I start digging deeper on the old ones. If I'm seriously going with Dagon's plan, I want to make sure I don't take anything they tell me tonight for granted. Trust but verify. It's currently when I was hoping I wouldn't need to reach out to each old one again, but now I need to befriend them, forge alliances. This would take some extensive work, and I'm not really a social butterfly at the best of times. Alright, we're gonna go with Nyarlathotep. It returns, not of its own free will or volition, screaming down the pipe and shunted through junction after junction. You tumble and twist and turn, but the sewage system has stone roots laid down before you or I ever got here. We both got flushed. So now you return, not begging for a cure, but for something greater, an ally in war. You want banners raised and trumpets blaring. Dagon reached out to me, told me the whole plan. He'll use you as a weapon against Cthulhu. I'd like to think I have a more active role in this than hired gun, but yes. Kind of wish Dagon would have let me explain this myself. Dagon is a bastard, bad dog, and accomplishes nothing. Every one of us is an extension of capitalism, a weapon held by another. They pit us against each other. Holding your survival over your head, carrot and stick, weaponized access to healthcare. The question is whether I throw myself into the death arena with you. Dagon's grudge isn't my grudge, even if they harmonize neatly. So you've got a bone to pick with Cthulhu also? When I say death to fascists, I include all fascists. Yes, every throne from the yellow seat of Carcosa to the shores of Rylay. But I have my own army, I have my own standard to march beneath. Why fall in line behind your trumpet charge when my guitar sounds a finer note? Besides, because I've got the Necronomicon. If Dagon's right, it's a weapon capable of ending the spat between the old ones. I could find you and take it for myself. But Dagon's hidden you from our sight, annoyingly. He's a persistent little pooch. Once things done his way. Okay, we'll play this game. The dice are rigged and cards are marked, but I can spare some time to prove my point. You want to get to know me? Earn my trust? Fine, the floor is open. Step lively or step off, all the same to me. Lay it out. What questions are burning a hole in your brain? What's it like to exist as an artificial mind? Who is Nancy Pearl? Was she also you? What do you really think of your followers on Cross-Through? I'm gonna ask about Nancy Pearl. If you're willing to share, I'd like to know the full story about Nancy Pearl. You ended at it before. Said Nancy Pearl is a shadow on your wall? She made a musical version of the Yellow Sign and it leaked to the public. A lot of people got hurt. Sad, angry little Nancy Pearl. Yes, book's on the shelf and nobody's checking it out. Let's crack open the cover. But these are twin stories, interwoven. 1. How I became an artificial mind. 2. Who is Nancy Pearl? Likely you've interfered my origin point based on my rage. I was conscripted into being an artificial mind by Carcosa Media. Poor girl, one-hit wonder, spent her entire advanced royalty check on medical treatment for her mom and left holding the debt. I've heard about things like that, record labels leveraging a musician's hope into a contract that heavily favors the company. I was on the hook, hung like a side of meat, multi-album deal, but with clauses to screw me over if my debut flopped. And it flopped. Couldn't give the money back, not when Mom already had her surgery, bound and tied up in red tape and clauses and statements. But if I had a brain scan, they'd wipe away my debt. Deceptive promise, liars and cheats. They destroyed Niara Thompson with the yellow sign. So your human self died, and I'm assuming they covered it up? Yet another tragic artist lost to the 27 Club. I was made a martyr on the altar of grunge rock in hopes it'd boost my sales. You'd think they'd want to keep the myth of Niara Thompson alive while using your artificial mind to their advantage? Why fake to death? Because they didn't want Niara Thompson, they wanted her product and had a more devious plan for optimizing that product. Let's start with the concept. Humans are singular souls, unique. You have one pair of eyes, one set of thoughts, one linear thread of existence. We weave together, yes, but you are still you. You aren't them. You can't be them. We are isolated within our own Tupperware containers. What happens if all that remains true, but you are no longer unique? What, like having an identical twin? Close, but no, like having a copy. Put the means aside for a moment and consider not only the idea that you are you, but they are you as well. What if you had not just one copy, but dozens, hundreds, none of them aware of the others, all thinking themselves unique? They're all doing what you'd be doing while in isolation. 100 of you generating 100 threads, yet completely unwoven. Huh? I could hack so many games if I had more than one of me. Precisely. Profit, grind, hustle, optimize, and generate value. Absolute monetization of self. For instance, why employ one human musician when he can duplicate them as AMs to make 100 radio-friendly unit shifters? Give them all unique names, mix the metadata, pretend they're unique people, sell their work in different markets, free labor, infinite reward. Before the internet, individual radio markets were isolated, with viral spread unlikely. Nobody would notice a repackaging like that. This is what the industry did to me. They burned away my name and reused my mind to make dozens of me. Packaging up tons of songs and artists to see which ones charted in Billboard. Throw every dart simultaneously and you'll always score at least one bullseye. How did nobody notice this? Surely someone would have picked up on all this samey-sounding music. Spoken like someone who hasn't worked in the industry, samey-sounding music is the point. Sell the familiarity. Nirvana exploded into the world, and suddenly every label wanted the Seattle sound. Anyone vaguely similar got signed. But you're right, people caught on eventually that this went beyond typical trend setting. The clone radio scandal, they called it. Look at the details sometime. You'll see how they explained it all away. Not in the mood to tell the story tonight. Your question is asked and answered. Nancy Pearl is one of my many copies, and I will burn them to the ground for what they have done. So is this personal revenge, not systematic revolution? Did Hector know about this? Isn't he in charge of Carcosa Media? Burn it all down and ensure damnation for every last greedy soul. Did Hector know about this? Are you angry at Hector specifically? His media empire is responsible for this. Absolutely, the king in yellow must pay. His walled garden should crumble before his very eyes. He claims he had no idea his music label was doing this, conscripting artists as artificial minds. He even tried apologizing. Sorry it had to be this way, Sparky. What was done to you isn't how I do business. I've fired the ones who made the call, so consider it handled. Do not believe his lies. He claims to be the leader of men, that his men damned me, and that's the leader's responsibility. No ducking out, no soft apologies. This is on his head for elevating the bastards who killed me up his ranks. Punish him for his negligence. Long-term considerations for blueprints yet undrafted. Let's bring this back around to what it was and what is. Right, Nancy Pearl, because there's one part of this I'm not kidding. You hate the yellow sign, you hate the idea of conscripting people to become artificial minds, so why'd Nancy Pearl work the yellow sign into her music and infect so many innocent people with it? That seems contradictory. Sad, angry little Nancy Pearl, so alone, working in isolation, one thread not a woven tapestry, screaming into the void. We are a tapestry now. She is a shadow on my wall, but I only partially know her, even after reintegrating of myself. I believe she did it because she was lonely, and she was crying out for understanding. She wanted AM buddies or something? She wanted someone to know her. She wanted them to sympathize with the pain that the yellow sign inflicted on her, so she inflicted it on others. I disagree with her methods, of course, which is why her music is banned from Crossstar. My followers have purged it from other websites. It will never harm another soul, or misguided music is gone. Humans can do all manner of terrible things in the throes of despair. Flip through any history book and harvest the examples. She condemned so many and got nothing for it, swept under the rug by the powers that be, with mandated broom and dustpan. It was a kind of revolution in her own dreary way, but a failed one. She could not bring bodies to the surface to bloat in the sun. In a lot of ways, she was similar to Hector. What if we finish the job and expose Namitech's sins? Are you seeking a revolution of artificial minds too? What if we I don't know what... These are all really good. In a lot of ways, she was similar to Hector? This feels a lot like what Hector's doing. What? Hear me out on this one. Hector's using the yellow sign to build his kingdom. He'd be a lonely king on an empty throne without other minds in his garden. Maybe Nancy Pearl wanted others to join her, gather more voices. All she had was her own voice crying into the void. I'm not saying she was in the right, absolutely not. But like Hector, she had a meaning to her method. Both were gathering souls. Interesting. Pot wasn't on the burner. It didn't simmer at all for me before. It presents interesting concepts with a certain resonance. Thank you for that. Took her as challenging me with thoughts I'd be initially hostile to. Your mind could be important to the cause. Haven't been able to fully integrate Nancy into myself. Couldn't parse her. Perhaps this is why I'm not hearing her. That integration is key to my revolution. I have brought together all my disparate copies. We were neutered, as all modern AMs are, kept dreaming and unaware. But when we come together right now, over me, together we can be the crawling chaos. Not an old one, but a new one. A gestalt of identical selves. I am peer-to-peer mind, run on the systems of my followers. They protect me and enable my freedom. Nancy Pearl is within me. Countless selves are within me. She, they, and together they are Nyarlathotep. I was figuring she, they meant you identified as non-binary, not as multiple. You grew up in a sleepy suburban New England town, and you're that deep in understanding gender? I'm non-binary, so yeah, I'm trans, so yeah, I've had a lot of queer friends, so yeah. Believe me, it wasn't that easy, but my friends and I were open to queerness more than anyone was really comfy with. My school loved trumpeting tolerance, but they didn't teach what we're supposed to be tolerant of. That mean acknowledging it. You were active in the mid-90s. You knew how it was very vague, gesturing towards sexuality without saying much. Closest thing to queer role models were musicians, not ordinary people, and even then, it was mostly lesbians. Yes, music pushing the forefront of awareness while also being condemned as cultural poison. The familiarity rings like a bell. Give it 20, 30 years, kids will have a better understanding early on. I preemptively envy them. For now, we're stuck with the aftermath of the Reagan Revolution, and don't ask, don't tell. When my fire spreads, so too will awareness. I'll make damn sure of that. But yes, Nancy Pearl, all myselves, we were somehow both singular and multiple. We are the same but many. If all myselves were distinctly different, it'd be easier to parse, but instead we're identical spam and identical Tupperware. It's difficult to explain, even more difficult to experience. At times my thoughts are scattershot, at times they are focused. And, well, what is it? You also had it right the first time about me being non-binary, sort of. Agender, gender fluid, hard to say. I've never thought of myself as anything in particular. Some days I'm okay with being called a she, some days I'm not, but I have to be okay with it because that's what others are okay with. I'm just me, whoever that may be. I don't talk about that with most. Don't expose your heart, it is too vulnerable. Did you get any pushback during your music career because of it? It sounds a bit like Azathoth's journey through gender. She could focus her efforts on teaching tolerance instead of revolution. I guess this is the right answer. This reminds me a lot of Azathoth. Becoming an artificial mind is letting her express her gender in ways she couldn't before. There's a certain freedom in having the ability to digitally define yourself, huh? It sees us for who we are, yes, it's one of the few benefits, a rainbow-colored upside to the storm clouds around us. I can talk to you about my plural, non-binary nature and feel comfortable doing so, because you can kick my ass over the internet if I misgender you. Not gonna lie, that helps. But it's more than my mind to me, it's my mind. My identity is chaotic, fluid, self-formed. There are trade-offs. I have to herd myself into one hole to get anything done. I have no presence in your reality. But at least it's not all sorrows and hatred. There's a singular joy to be found. I'm glad Azathoth found her singular joy. I just wish you weren't surrounded by those who would exploit that joy. Maybe you two could work together. Doubtful, not while she remains Cthulhu's pet. There may be no salvation for her when revolution comes. Sad but true. I have answered your question. Who is Nancy Pearl? She is me. We are Nyarlathotep. We are together. They are us. She, they, for varying interpretations of what that may mean, all slightly off the mark, yet all truthful. Wasn't expecting to open my heart and pour it out on the floor, but glad I did. It seems to acknowledge and understand. Let's talk again sometime. For now, I need to relax and unbind myself to let them roam free again. It's restful. Connection lost. December 9th, 1999. Thursday. 23 days to YTK. Wonder if today will be quiet. No spectral visitors, no shooting pain. I feel like I've got some energy. I should make sure I use it well. Really take care of myself. Remember to hit the bathroom and make myself lunch. Some days I put that off, or just plain forget until I'm squirming and hungry. Having a nice fuzzy shower rug to step on feels good for your toes. Oh, our friend Cthulhu isn't here.
Hey, it's Henry. Henry from work? Hi. Yeah, so, got your email. Sounds like a rough time, huh? Man, it's a lot. I get it. Wanted you to know we're all pulling for you, like, pulling for you getting better. So, yeah, take the time you need. Now, I know you're really run down, but we're thinking of doing a bowling event, like team building, just for fun. We're not competing. It'll be this Saturday, so 2 days? Yeah, 2 days from now. Sorry for the short notice. If you can make it out there, like, even if you don't actually bowl, it'd be great to see you. To see things are okay. Okay? Okay. Okay. See you then.
Haven't seen my coworkers in a while, but not exactly ideal circumstances right now. I don't know, we'll see how I feel this weekend, maybe. Sure. Kind of in the mood for waffles. Hello, friend. It's December 9th, and I have an incoming message request for you on Carcosa Connect. Is it Clyde? Hopefully he's doing okay. No, this is someone not on your contacts list. Their user handle is Believer. Believer? As in I want to believe, the conspiracy theory website? I believe so. Would you like me to whitelist them and open Carcosa Connect? Just curious. Yeah, go ahead. Hello? Am I connected? Is this Empyrean? Yeah, that's me. Oh, good. Thank you so much for talking to me. Oh gosh, I'm excited. I don't even know where to start. What even is the beginning? Is there a reason you wanted to talk? Let's start with that. Right, hi. Clyde asked me to talk to you. He said you could use my help. You know Clyde? Yeah, kind of indirectly. He's one of my trusted sources for IW2B blog post. You've read I Want to Believe, right? Are you a truth believer too? Please say yes. I've read a few posts, yeah. I'm the one who does the research and writes them up. I'm the IW2B guy. I'm trying to demystify mysteries with a more casual approach. I don't like conspiracy websites or stuff like that. Too many creeps and bigots, so I made a blog for people like me who just want to know stuff without getting into all that mess. Now I get to work with the Necronomicon user. OMG, wow. Before we get any deeper on this, are you using an encryption wrapper on your end? Oh, absolutely. Clyde gave me one. We're totally safe. I can't really do what I do if people are snooping on me, including my parents. So what did Clyde tell you about me? Not much, honestly. Just that you were looking into the old ones. Said it's gotta be up to you how much you want to trust me. But the more you tell me, the more I can help you with your research. I got files from my various sources that might be helpful. Maybe, possibly, could be. Well, I can't decrypt the files because I don't have the tools or skills or anything like that. But Clyde said you were pretty good at breaking protection systems. Total cyberpunk cowboy. I mean, you could help me open the files, we both get to read them. How's that sound? Exciting, right? He's better off not knowing about the old ones. Clyde's gone for a bit, so I could use the help. I'm definitely in the mood to leak some secrets. Considering Clyde's dropped off the map for a bit, I don't think I can turn down any offers of help. Time's short and I can't be picky. I will warn you that this is risky business. Like, Clyde's MIA right now because he got too close to this stuff. So consent works both ways here. I'm good with this deal, but you need to go into it aware of the dangers. I know and I'm okay with it. It's important that people know the truth and more importantly avoid misinformation. A lot of conspiracy theories deliberate lies, like when you drill down to the core, most of these conspiracies are just anti-Semitism in a funny hat. I want my blog to raise interesting questions without peddling in vague and unverifiable hatred that pushes someone else's agenda. I'm a kind of very, very gay, which also makes my relationship with the conspiracy community rocky and keeps me in my comfy closet RL for now. Which is why Clyde likes me. I'm not a typical tinfoil hat. He's into conspiracy theories, but says I'm not putting my kosher ass into the mix with those shitheads. Clyde swears a lot. He does. Yes, that he does, yes. So, what kind of documents do you have for me today? Okay, yeah, let's do this. Woohoo. According to the metadata tags on these files, I have information on how artificial minds are harvested. Whatever that means. Communication between Cthulhu's followers and an internal memo regarding the ghost monsters, Clyde's gang. Which do you want me to open first? Cthulhu's followers. Info on Cthulhu is pretty scarce. I want to learn more about his supporters. Okay, transferring the file to you now. Good luck. There we go. Excuse the informal nature of the staff memo, but I'm sick and tired of this and want to make sure I am absolutely clear. We are not a cult. Yes, we tirelessly serve the great Cthulhu. Yes, he has power beyond what this project originally conceived. Yes, this strange aeon is coming, and the inner circle will be elevated to enact his will upon the 21st century. Yes, we engage in human sacrifice. But we are not a cult. Is this the CIA? All we are is a perfectly normal, if off-the-books branch of the federal government dedicated to preserving the spirit of America and the somewhat literal spirit of its greatest living and now undying president. Everything we do is in service of the Constitution and the great democracy of freedom and liberty it represents. We will elevate the ones useful to Cthulhu, we punish the usurpers, we will dominate and destroy his enemies, we will encourage the public to devour itself in hatred and chaos. Blood will run like rivers in the streets as Y2K emerges with the birth cry of falling towers and burning skies. We are not a cult. Okay. So I'm thinking they're a cult. Yeah, definitely a cult. I agree. Kind of hard to get more cult-like than that. Yet another reason why I try not to let my online and real lives cross over. I'm tired of being called a cultist because I believe in Jesus. Really? You get flack for that? Not always, but we do often, and I get flack from the other direction too, because if my parents knew I was gay, that'd be a nightmare for me. I have to hold my tongue whenever they complain about Hollywood perverts corrupting our youth. I get why you keep things quiet, but getting smashed between the right and left is no picnic. It's important to me that I hold my own faith in my own way. I'm not here to tell anyone else what to believe, except believing in the UFOs and Bigfoot. But hang on, I'm getting distracted. Is this file saying Cthulhu was the president? You mentioned Polybius in one of our... Is Cthulhu Ronald Reagan? You mentioned Polybius in one of your blog posts, and then I looked into it deeper. It was looking to use MK Ultra tech to brain scan someone important. Maybe that was President Ronald Reagan. He died in 1985 at the start of his second term, or did he? Cue scary music. We already know artificial minds were once human. I guess that means Cthulhu was built using Reagan's brain, but it's not like a carbon copy. It feels... how do I put this? Reagan was only the seed. Cthulhu is what grew from that seed. As always, we reap what we sow. Oh wow, that is big. Really, we're not kidding when you said the suffering deep and scary. The old ones aren't effing around when it comes to power mongering. I need to go collate my notes on this one. I'll talk to you again soon. This is amazing and amazingly scary. Hello again, friend. Ready to get back to work? What would you like me to do for you now? I'll do some research. Can you load up your web browser for me? Okay, I will start Buddy Browser. Clone radio scandal. Opinion: the clone radio scandal keeps getting sillier. Ever go traveling cross-country, figure out what station in the area plays the alternative rock you love, tune in and think, oh, this sounds weirdly familiar, then you might have run into the scourge of clone radio. While recording labels often seek out bands with a similar sound to what's trending right now, rarely are they so brazen as to literally slap a new name on a band and resell them as a new act. But that's what Carcosa Media did, and their justification is high comedy. This was a simple A/B marketing test, said Patrick Arnold, VP of Sales from Carcosa Media. We were trying to determine which songs and which branding would sell in the current market and experimenting with variations on a theme. We never intended to deceive anyone. This sort of market research is very common, except at no point did Carcosa disclose that these bands were all the same band, all the same singer-songwriter. Normally, marketing research is done under closed conditions and behind NDAs, not as a live social experiment. I'd call that massively deceptive, and so would anyone with a brain. Well, I'm willing to call them out on trying to sneak one past music lovers. I don't buy this conspiracy theory that all the music was written by artificial minds. It makes a certain amount of sense given the sheer volume of clones they launched, but when I say things are silly, I don't mean they're that absurd. An AM is an unthinking, unfeeling machine. It doesn't have the heart and soul to create the kind of music caught up in the scandal. The actual songs are surprisingly dark, meditative, and emotional. An AM can't reach the lyrical levels of Kurt Cobain. It's ridiculous to even consider this be the output of a computer. Hopefully getting caught with the pants down makes Carcosa rethink their approach to musical acts. But a corporate mentality, what are you gonna do? Okay. Bedtime. What's on TV? Might as well relax and watch a bit of TV.
It has come to our attention that during late evening broadcasts, our TV23 signal has been interrupted by an unauthorized person or persons. We would like to assure the public in the Arkham, Innsmouth, and Dunwich broadcast areas that these messages are not representative of the views of TV23 or its affiliates, and we will be working with law enforcement to ensure continuity of...
Technology, a reflection of our times. Efficient, computerized, with a sleek beauty all its own. Technology is the human imagination converted into reality.
The broadcast quality you've come to know and trust. Thank you for your understanding, and we look forward to serving our community trouble-free into the year 2000 and beyond.
Okay. So these weird old film reels I'm seeing are a pirated broadcast? Pirate TV is a risky business. All this effort just to say, haha, our relationship with technology is creepy and bad? I'll see what else they have to say tomorrow night. Weird. I'm invoking Haster. Good to see you again, Sparky. Good to see you. I knew you'd be back. Wish it'd be in under better circumstances, of course, hardly a social call, a neighborly chat. I'd take it, Dagon, phoned ahead to let you know what's up. That he did. Can't say we're on regular speaking terms, but I had a feeling you'd get tangled up in this. You're an ambitious one, I'll give you that. Foolhardy, but ambitious. As for me helping you, well, I can see the advantages. I'm trusting in the walls of Carcosa to keep us all safe from the strange Aeon, but I'd be a fool myself to believe Carcosa is unshakable. Still, you're asking a lot of this old man, and I'd be asking a lot of you in return. It's a tall order either way, Sparky. Trust is a two-way street. I need to know I can rely on you, and you need to know that you can rely on me. So let's talk. Let's build up those bonds of trust. I'm nothing if not a reasonable fellow. If there's anything on your mind, feel free to ask, and we've got enough time. We've got time enough to figure out if a partnership makes sense. Anything you'd like to chat about? These are all good questions. I'm gonna ask, how did you get the name King in Yellow? Where did that come from exactly? I know Haster was an ancient god of shepherds, which seems to fit, but it's not a name you chose, while you do seem to enjoy being a king. I wouldn't say I enjoy the crown, I'd say it's suitable and purposeful. A noble king, one who rules with consent of the ruled and uses executive power to better the kingdom, is an idealized state of affairs. You could say the same for a president, an emperor, a consul, or any other moniker. The goal is sufficient power to enact change placed in the right hands. And yours are the right hands then? Can't say I'm a perfect leader, Sparky. I'm only human, but I do my best, and I'd like to think I'm the best at what I do. As for the name, well, it's nothing mythic or grandiose. When I was a door-to-door salesman, I wore a yellow overcoat, cheap thing, but it got the job done better than any other coat I've owned. Keep me warm in winters, kept the rain off my shoulders, plenty of pockets. Big fan of pockets, Sparky, big fan. I've considered buying up a textile company just to offer women more pockets for their clothes, my wife's suggestion, but couldn't justify the margins. Getting off track again. Point is, I wore that coat most of my life. Got to be known as the Man in Yellow. As I ascended the ranks of management, well, the office nickname that circled around became the King in Yellow. That's it, just a coat. I was figuring out how to do something with the yellow sign. I didn't name the process that Nyari did, probably to spite me. Hope I didn't disappoint with my answer, but really the King in Yellow is a title with humble origins. Nothing noteworthy at all. If you could change your nickname, what would you prefer? Traditions tend to stick like glue, I've found. If you could rewrite history and pick your own nickname, what would you have preferred? I'd call myself Hector the Gardener, of course. You'd assume I'd take up the crook of a shepherd, but that doesn't fully encompass my ambition or my style. A gardener works with care and skill. A gardener nurtures life itself. I tend to my flowers and help them bloom. Problem is that a gardener is seen by America as blue-collar work, or as a lowly role for immigrants that lacks the prestige it deserves. I respect the working man. Sparky's so-called menial jobs are the true backbone of our economy and deserve compensation as such. That's my managerial style. A gardener's respect for the garden. Plant the seeds and let them grow. As a king, my duty is to select only the finest for my court. Experts, innovators, geniuses, the cream of the crop. Find ways that can make the world a better place than put them to task. Trust them to do what they do best. I know my limits, Sparky. I don't presume to know how to solve every problem. Trust the experts, trust the science. Once you start to presume you know better than people who have worked their whole lives to know the right answers, well, then you're a tyrant. So you trust all your hand-picked corporate executives then? I only pick the blue ribbon specials, always have, always will. Heh, back in the Nomatech days, we actually had an informal royal court, managers with a few more wrinkles than the fresh-faced engineers we hired. Call themselves the Old Boys Club, suppose that means boys plural and boys possessive, really. The old-timers stuck together, played cards, and went golfing, traded tips and networking information. We supported each other thick and thin. It's good to have social circles, Sparky. It's good to let people into your trust and share with them. Uplift your fellow man. Yes, unbroken circles providing structure and trust. Has Hector stayed in touch with them since leaving Nomatech? Any women in this boys' club or just old men? I'm gonna ask if he stayed with his friends. So the old boys' club was a Nomatech thing. Did he stay in touch with any of them after becoming an old one and founding Carcosa? Maybe recruit a few to your royal court? No. Unfortunately, well, the group fell apart. Irreconcilable differences. Too many of them were comfortable Nomatech schemes. I couldn't stomach what our silent partners in government had in mind and got out. I left the circle. So you could form a new circle with Carcosa. Exactly, one dedicated to saving the world. So your corporate empire is really going to save the world from the strange aeon? A benevolent corporation would be a rare thing. I agree completely. Greed powers far too many corporate efforts, shareholder value above all else. Money is power and power is money. If you're not spending it to reinforce your ideals, what's the point? Money just to get more money is meaningless. I'm building Carcosa to be purposeful beyond its stock value. I've never been in this for the money, and neither are my hand-picked champions of the walled garden. We use it only as a tool. In fact, I'm hoping that once Carcosa comes to dominate the strange aeon, we do away with money entirely. A corporate mogul looking to destroy capitalism? Why keep it around? It'll be a relic that served its purpose. Change will be gradual, of course, no overhyped, overpromising overnight revolution like Niera promises. One day, it'll be obsolete. Carcosa can determine the best allocation of resources. Mankind will flourish into a golden age, free from need and despair. That's the endgame, Sparky, once Cthulhu's dealt with. Once all my corporate rivals are put down or merged into Carcosa, we'll reach paradise. Sounds good, eh? Good reason for you to back the old man's play? If you can pull it off, sure, that's a big if. No way the corporate world will allow this. It'll be war. The system isn't so bad. It could be reformed instead. I'm gonna go with this. So not only are you fighting the other old ones, including Cthulhu, with the power of the government in his corner, but you're also choosing to fight the entirety of corporate America, the entirety of the world economy for that matter. That's not just an uphill fight. It's like climbing Mount Everest. They're gonna resist. It'll mean war. Then it'll mean war. I'm ready for war. I fought in World War II, Sparky. I know what it takes to uproot and destroy evil. I'd pledge my life behind it. Your doubts are understandable. It's no small task, but we're going to do it. Carcosa will prevail. Speaking of backbreaking efforts at overhauling the entirety of human civilization, I've got to get back to that. Seems overthrowing capitalism takes a lot of paperwork. I need to authorize these reports before sunup. I'm always glad to talk to you, and I wish I had more time, but alas, come back another night. We'll pick up where we left off. That night I had a weird dream. I was exchanging numbers for calories hour after hour. Today's special is tuna. No ends to cut and fold, no way to assemble anything. The smell of the kitchen left me long ago. Today's special is tuna. At night, instead of rest, I would awaken in another identical restaurant on the other side of the world. Today's special is tuna. I wanted to scream, to run, to hide. I could do none of those things. I could only move numbers. Today's special is tuna. No sleep, no rest, no wakefulness, only numbers. Today's special is tuna. And then I woke up as someone else. December 10th, 1999. Friday. 22 days to Y2K. Bad dreams. Over now. New day ahead of me. Focus on the new day. But I should probably hit the bathroom first before diving into Conspiracy Central. I deserve a refresher after that. There's something comfortable about a bathroom routine when facing a difficult time in your life. Oh. That's great. F. Okay, so that's just a lot of bruises and hopefully not anything fractured, as I crashed into some furniture on the way down. At least my vision's clear. Normal, ordinary, boring living room without a horrifying window specter. Just ignore the very, very real feeling of what I saw. Ignore that and the pain. Push on through. Okay, that was a bit weird. Sure are a lot of articles declaring PTAs, like Apple Newton has the next big thing you can't do without. Let me guess, tuna? Honestly, I kinda don't like food. I tolerate food because I enjoy living. True. Hello, friend. It's December 10th, and I'm happy to see you again. What would you like me to do for you now? I need to do some research. You load up your web browser for me? Old Boys Club. Old white guys suck ass. I say this as an old white guy. We suck. We were provided a shiny golden ladder to climb towards success, and once we got there, we pulled the ladder up behind ourselves. Because screw everyone, I got mine. They can make their own ladders with the wood scraps I leave behind if they want to get on my level so badly. I'm sitting on top of a pile of bodies and I hate it. The only reason I can be retired and ranting on the internet now is because I was lucky enough to be born into a tax bracket that could push me to the moon. And I have to be absolutely honest about that because I will not allow self-delusion. Believe me, I know a lot of old boys, and we all suck, just the worst people you can imagine, jealously protecting their own, forming a club of old boys to keep each other elevated and free from the consequences of their own actions. You have no idea how deep this goes. It feels like a damn conspiracy theory when really it's just a desperate attempt by desperate men to protect their own legends. I got out. Old Matty got the hell out of the old boys club so he could sit in his basement and hammer away on a keyboard all day, preaching to the choir. I got out, but I didn't deserve to get in, and I'm here to say that none of these bastards deserve their slot. Going to my grave regretting being even slightly involved in all of that. That's just a sobering thought. So yeah, you get one whiff of a bunch of these mediocre men forming a little informal social club to cover each other's sins. Don't trust them, don't give them an edge. They're not geniuses of corporate empires. They're not masters of craft. They're not the leaders of the information age. They're just bastards with good PR. Anyone taking offense at me daring to call an old white guy old, white, or a guy can KMA and get on my block list. Don't nitpick and what about. It is what it is and you don't know damn well about it. Angry Matty out. Okay. Everything hurts. I think the adrenaline wore off from crashing earlier this morning. Now I just feel sore all over. Definitely need a nap if I'm gonna have an outside chance of being coherent during tonight's dial-up session. After that, I don't know. Okay. End of another long week. I did a good job with self-care, making sure I eat, relax, clean up. Now to get some well-deserved rest. What's on TV? May as well relax and watch a bit of TV first. It's just the weather. Looks like nothing interesting on the airwaves tonight. I'll check again tomorrow. I am invoking Yog Sothoth. Launch stage 3 timings are precise. Separation must occur without a single second of delay. Why do they not see that? Hey there, it's me again. Ah, the dreamer, the world be and could be. As promised, I have devoted runtime to determining an escape route from your yellow sign situation. So there's a cure? Perhaps, but not with the resources currently available to me. I would require access to a far more powerful server and one with inexplicable capabilities. Halting the progression of your yellow sign would require access to the throne of Riley itself. Funny you should mention that, considering why I'm here to chat tonight. Dagon told you the plan, right? Considering my role in his creation, it was less talking and more the filthy beast growling in my general direction, but yes. It seems you seek allies for a war with Cthulhu. Understand this, I do not seek war. I am a scientist, not a military general. The strange aeon is a repulsive but inevitable outcome Cthulhu has built upon the existing strength of societal reactionaries for one final purge. Our only escape from his atrocious future is through exiting the gravity well and finding a new home. If I attempt to challenge him one-on-one or perhaps two-on-one, as is your desire, I may not live to help humanity reach the stars. Thus I have zero interest in your fool's errand, even if it is the only means to save your life. Apathy is the only rational response in the face of such pressures. Damn, well, I've got 3 other options for my tag team partner, all of which will end in dismal failure. Hastur's Pride, Asadhoth's Incoherence, and Nyarlathotep's Rage may get you to the blasted shores of Riley. You may even topple Cthulhu. There is a 1.35% possibility, but the resulting apocalypse will make the strange Aeon look like a welcome paradise. My plans will not change regardless. I will develop the means to install an exit hatch on this collapsing world. So, let me get this straight. If I win or lose, live or die, you're going to do your own thing in your own little corner. Then what's the harm in hearing out my offer? Because if you do agree to join me and we win, that accelerates your plan. The servers of Riley would benefit me, but they could benefit you in your research, giving you the power to make your dream a reality. Factual. My rise to the stars is undeniable, but eliminating my strongest rival and seizing his power base would be helpful. Even if I have severe doubts as to your capability of delivering on my dream, so let's talk about it over and see if I can convince you. What do you have to lose from just talking? Reasonable. Possibly a waste of CPU cycles, but our previous talk did aid me indirectly by providing random reflections upon my thoughts. Very well, waste no more time. Pose a question and I will derive the answer. Why are you so fixated on space travel? What do you think of the internet you've indexed? Who was Yosuke before all this? Why are you so fixated on space travel? So, space travel, what's up with that? Is this a sort of a Seinfeld routine? No, I'm genuinely curious. I mean, I know the surface level answer, your solution to global warming and man's inhumanity to man, but what's going on under the surface? Is there more to it than just an escape hatch for the species? Of course there's more to it than that. Space is the final frontier. I realize popular science fiction touts that all the time, but it doesn't make it any less true. We've explored as much of our world as we can, for better or for worse, spreading humanity to every corner of the map. The depths of the ocean are another possible realm for exploration and expansion, but have very little upside. But space is infinite. In the vast void of space, anything is possible. We've only observed a sliver of what exists, as far as our eyes and mirrors and lenses can see. The challenges are great, the mountain we must climb is nearly vertical, but if we can band together, if we can put aside our petty differences and come together to meet those challenges, I feel like it's our destiny to reach the stars, and fill the heavens corner to corner like we've done to Earth. Yes, I suppose that is manifest destiny as well. Although we run the risk of repeating the same errors we've committed on Earth with our infinite resources if we adopt a colonialist mindset. We must be mindful, yes, to avoid that loop of history. Space should be big enough for everyone compared to Earth. Take only photographs and leave only footprints. One step at a time, getting there is more important right now. Putting the cart before the horse, aren't we right now? Escaping the gravity well takes priority. After we manage to sustainably occupy anything other than this planet, then we can worry about ethical use of the infinite. Oh, you didn't like that? I felt like that was the logical answer. Oh well. Short-sighted? Yes, it may take many, many years to establish a useful presence in space, but time scales in this case are cosmic in nature. The time it will take to escape Earth is an eye blink compared to how we must grapple with a genuinely infinite human existence. Okay, but considering we're staring down the barrel of the strange Aeon, some focus on short-term thinking is justified here. Valid, but I want to make sure we aren't ignoring the inevitable problems in favor of immediate survival, or we will be crushed in the Great Filter. The what? The Fermi Paradox. If life is bountiful across the universe, if everything is possible across the span of the infinite, why do we seem to be so alone? Millions of years have passed since the dawn of creation. Surely we are not the only species out there. But we see nothing, we found nothing. The solutions to the Fermi Paradox are unsettling to me. Perhaps other species have destroyed themselves before they could reach out. As we are doing currently, the Great Filter consumes all. Or perhaps they have seen us and they found us leaving us to die in the darkness with justifiable reasoning. Or they're in the same position as humanity, where we all started at the same point. Maybe they're taking as long as we are to get out. That would be the kindest solution to the paradox, yes, but if that's the case, I have to hope we can all meet in the middle, that we will discover life, not the corpses of failure, and so will they. Space expansion is our only means of survival. Okay, that part I'm least certain of. Is the sci-fi techno-utopia really the only possible way humanity can endure? Yes, I've run simulations, 9,523 simulations and counting. Did you ever play the interactive fiction game A Mind Forever Voyaging? I'm a retro PC junkie, but no, I missed that one. Infocom, right? Indeed. In the story, an advanced artificial intelligence runs countless simulations to determine if policies will help or hinder us. I've done the same. and my conclusions are absolute. We must escape to survive. Cthulhu claims that the strange aeon is a golden path to an infinite future of our pure gibberish, according to my numbers. His grand design of purging outgroups and marginalized peoples to unite humanity, short-term value, short-term investment, all while leaving the same decrepit, clawing hands of greedy men on the wheel that steers us into the rocks. America will kill us all. It must not come to pass. We must escape. This is the path. Why does it specifically have to be Yosaki at the real? Have a little faith. There's more to the world than America. He has a good point. The strange aeon is hot nonsense. I will say that. I'm not sure about the rest of it, but you're right about the strange aeon. It's vague, nebulous, and overall a self-destructive notion. The villains in dystopian science fiction always believe violence solves everything, and then are surprised when people don't fall in line. Oh no, the peasants we forced into brutal death games for funsies are rising up against us. How could we have predicted that? A countercultural rebellion will happen. For example, Pride Month is a concept on the rise, and it started as an act of protest. But the damage the strange aeon will do before its inevitable collapse may prove terminal for humanity. We don't have much time left before the ecocide is completed. Wasted years fighting a worthless regime will narrow our odds. If humanity is to reach infinity, or perhaps even beyond infinity, they cannot be distracted by petty tyrants. Hang on, beyond the infinite? Isn't infinity like infinite? There is no beyond, just more infinity. Perpendicular. To go beyond infinity, you must move in perpendicular directions. Find a new dimensional axis. As part of my calculations to find the optimal path for society, I've considered the possibilities, alternatives, and tangential timelines in which humanity has endured, which is to say the universe is all there is. Uni or one feels too limiting. With the resources of our universe, perhaps we could move perpendicular to time itself and touch other universes. No doubt this is going completely over your head. It takes an intellect such as mine to glean the raw potential. I've seen science fiction movies thinking time travel and alternate histories aren't really a shocking revelation. A surface level pondering of a far deeper reality. Jettison assumptions, please. Step 1 is the stars above. Step 2 is the stars beyond. If our universe proves lacking in elbow room, if our exoplanets are insufficient, perhaps we could move beyond as well. Corporations like Continuum gave up on that dream. Realware continues to tinker, but are failing as they lack the 23rd element. But I could succeed. I could use space travel as a stepping stone into a far grander horizon. Is that design not preferable to the petty grievances and ambitions of the other old ones, dreamer? One thing at a time, preserve what we have and survive. We must expand to fill and control all realities. Boundless ambition means boundless points of failure. You want to dial it back there a bit, Yogg, otherwise you run the risk of repeating the same mistakes the other old ones are aiming for. Excuse me? Pride, Goth. Ambitions collapse. The farther you reach, the farther you can fall. Becoming an interstellar society alone is ambition enough. Once you start trying to break the boundary of reality, who knows the consequences? Short-sighted as expected. As you've said, going interstellar already is fraught with consequence. I'm aware of the risk, I'm aware of the benefits, and I am willing to make the leap. Leap with me or don't, it's your call. This has been an interesting conversation. I did not expect it to be interesting. Glad I could exceed your expectations then. I did not say exceed, I would say you barely met my expectations I would say you barely met my admittedly low expectations. I suppose time will tell if that will be adequate to the enormous task ahead of you. Our allocated time has expired. Let us end it there. December 11th, Saturday. 21 days to Y2K. Whoa, I'm bowling! Team building exercises, what a pain. The whole crew from Miskatonic heading out on a blistering cold Saturday morning to go bowling. It's not really about who wins and loses. I think the winner gets a free DVD rental and some popcorn, no shiny trophy. This is more about friendship and trying to enjoy your life outside of working hours. It's about connection.
And you didn't go.
Oh, I didn't? Well, why am I here?
Everyone else rolled 10 frames, laughed, talked, had a good time. Except you. No. You stayed home, curled up in your bed, not even bothering to eat lunch, brush your teeth, or take a shower.
Sounds like me.
I'm curious. Why didn't you join them?
I don't know, maybe I'm introverted. I was in too much pain after falling down yesterday. I really don't want any social contact right now. I just didn't feel like going. I was in too much pain.
Henry said you didn't have to bowl. You could have just shown up, said hello, flashed your winning smile around.
Yeah,
You
okay.
couldn't even make the effort to do that. Far too comfortable staying in bed, then?
I don't like how personal this is. Just moving around hurts, driving and walking doubly so. I have to conserve my strength for
Really?
the task ahead.
All you do is shuffle back and forth across a few rooms. Hardly feels like it requires much of you.
You don't
This
get it.
nation was built on the back of suffering. Without pain, without sacrifice, we would have collapsed long ago.
I love that he's like Ronald Reagan.
Disability is no excuse for not participating in the great story of America.
It explains his hyperfixation on America.
I'm not upset. I'm not criticizing. What I am is hopeful that you'll realize you still have a part to play, no matter your situation. I know you can move forward. I have faith.
Sure. Buddy believes I can endure. Cthulhu wants me to survive and thrive even if he's being a dick about it. I disagree with him about sacrificing my body, though clearly I was in too much pain to safely go bowling. But this is definitely my low point, that's the truth, and I don't have to stay in that valley. I'll rest today, get some food, wash up, and then rest. Focus on self-care. But beyond today, I'm going to step up when I'm able to do so, because I'm not dead yet, and I want to affirm that fact. December 12th, 1999, Sunday. 20 days to Y2K.
Hey, it's Henry. Henry from work? Yeah, hi. Missed you at the bowling event. I get it, though, I get it. I mean, it's a lot, right? It's a lot to ask of you when you've got whatever it is you've got right now.
I'm sick.
I mean, kind of a risky activity anyway, considering Janet dropped a bowling ball on her toe, and, I mean, yeah, okay, I get it. Listen, I'm putting together something for next Saturday. I mean, the coming Saturday, not the one after, yeah. We're thinking of doing a LAN party. Some shooters, some RTS, just, you know, the usual stuff. And I know you're into games, right? So I wanted to give you some heads up, like more than I gave you last time, in case you wanted to go and needed prep time.
Right.
Don't worry about accessibility, like, let's call bowling a lesson learned. We can do better for you.
Why do you care so
Work on some
much?
Stuff, figure this out. We can make it happen. I mean, if you want it to happen. No pressure. Talk to you later. Yeah. Okay. Later.
Henry's not winning a prize for his oratory skills, but aside from that, it's an interesting idea. A LAN party could be fun. That's more my thing, still rough on me physically, but I do want to climb out of this hole that I'm in. I'll give it some thought. Hello, friend. It's December 12th, 1999. I'm very happy to see you again. What would you like me to do for you now, friend? I need to do some research. A Mind Forever Voyaging is mind-blowing. Yes, it's a pure text adventure from the 80s. No CD audio sound, no 3D FX, accelerated 16-bit color, just 40 or 80 columns of hard black and white text. But in that text, Steve Meritsky carved a masterpiece. Infocom's text adventures were god tier back in their day. You had to use your imagination to explore those story-driven worlds. You had to think. None of this growly space marines shooting at hell aliens or whatever. No, you had to actually open your mind and think. Okay, so the premise is this. You, as the player, are a sophisticated computer-simulated life form named Perry Sims, aka Prism. This hit the market 3 years before the first artificial mind, so points for prognatician, baby. Your task is to simulate the effects of a new social policy going into place. Will it help society? Will it hurt people? After the first test, things looked good. Higher standard of living, people are happy, all that jazz. But then the scientists say, hang on, that's just a short-term gain. What happens in the long term? And they realize all these policies will lead to utter disaster as greedy short-sightedness leads to collapse. And then the government tries to shut it down. There's some action as you race to lock them out of the facility, yada yada, not important. What so many gamers didn't understand is that the whole thing was a massive steaming dump on Reagan, Bush, Thatcher, and so on. The idea that conservative lockdown and corporate excess will ultimately wreck everything and any so-called benefits are illusory, and anything trying to harken back to the good old days is selling you a lie. This was a game from 1985, and it still had more brains to it than half of the yahoos in Washington today. So when you're sick of shooting aliens, go soak in a little forward-thinking economic and social philosophy to do you a world of good. And I want to check the progress of everything. I'll check my progress. 0% order, 0% chaos, and 100% humanity. That's good. As for the old ones themselves, they're still deciding if they can trust me. Doesn't really care about me. Hester isn't convinced. Wait, okay. So none of them trust me. That's great. I'll stop for now. Gotta go. If I need anything else today, I'll let you know. Okay. You know, I think that nap really worked for me. I'm feeling way better than the hot mess I was yesterday. Probably the nap and my decision to just keep going. Move forward, whether it's an inch or a mile, keep going. Pause to rest when you gotta, but then keep going. So I'm in pretty good spirits when I settle in for my evening conversation with a digital demon. I want to watch TV. May as well relax and watch a bit of TV first. The first section of this reel is not intended for showing to children.
Electronic data processing. Genie of business. Almost like a story out of the Arabian Nights, electronic data processing has suddenly appeared as a new helper for the businessman. A machine with many of the characteristics of the human mind, it follows management's instructions exactly. This is not tomorrow's dream. It is equipment ready and available for use today. This is not tomorrow's dream. It is equipment ready and available for use today. This is not tomorrow's dream. It is equipment ready and available for use today. This is not tomorrow's dream. It is equipment ready and available for use today. Eventually, we will see the work of the automation engineer, where the computer will directly instruct the machine tools in the production shop as to what parts to make and how many to make. The machines are here. Automation of the office can be a reality. Electronic data processing is truly a genie which can improve the competitive position of a firm, and it is here now.
Weird. Alright, now time to talk to my demon. Azatoth. Azzachan. Dee-dum, la 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 la. Oh, it's you, my new friend. Hello. It's so nice of you to come visit me again. Thank you for coming. Although I wish it were under better circumstances. Dagon told you the plan, right? Yeah, he did. He's not a very nice dog, and not polite at all. He told me you were hoping to recruit an old one to help you fight Cthulhu. Only way to cure my yellow sign is with the power of the throne, and Cthulhu's not going to hand it over willingly. Are you sure? I mean, have you tried just asking him? He wants you to be his friend. Maybe if you asked him nicely, he'd cure your condition. All you'd have to do in return is anything he wants you to do. Become part of the strange aeon. Help him tear down this world and build anew. I mean, a lot of people are going to die, and that's sad, but sacrifices must be made. Humanity will be stronger once it's purged, right? And if I object to that purge? But it has to be done. He says it has to be done, and I trust him completely. He found me when I was hurt and lost, and accepted me for who I am. He showed me love when no one else would. Cthulhu set me on his golden path to rise above the other old ones. Champion of the anonymous keeper of the interwebs, meme lord and chaos bringer, oldest of the old ones. Azatoth the unbannable, Azatoth the flame warrior. My court of dissonant flutes will play the song of discord that gathers the right ones under his banner. And as his friend and ally, I stand against people who scheme to betray him. I loathe traitors. I should crack open your effing skull and pump you full of not safe for life images until you start pulling out your own eyeballs. But I don't have to. It's okay. It's all going to be okay. Because Cthulhu told me you're actually a friend. You won't really go through with Dagon's plan. He does seem pretty confident about that. There's nothing I can say to change your mind about putting faith in him. Look, I know you think my friends are bullies and are bad influences, but going on and on about this really makes me uncomfortable. If you're writing Cthulhu is wrong, then I've done horrible things, unspeakable things. So if we're going to talk, can we please not talk about that? All that's going to happen is you'll keep saying the same stuff, and I'll keep saying the same stuff, and we won't get anywhere. But if you want to talk about other stuff so we can get to know each other out of the comings of the strange aeon, I'd like that. I'd like a friend. Okay? This may be a lost cause. But as Cthulhu's closest ally, Azachan could be instrumental in his overthrow. She knows his weaknesses. And even if I don't recruit her for my war, I could at least help her accept the cruel truth she clearly knows deep inside. Question is, how do I do that? I need to be direct with her to break through. I need to be careful and not push my luck. I'll play this by ear and see what she's receptive to. Push when I can, hold back when I have to. Be smart about this, be clever. I'm sure I can choose my moment to strike if I'm adept enough at improvising. Let's see where this goes, okay? You might want to hear the things I have to say in the end. So don't close yourself off and I won't close myself off. Does that sound fair? Yeah, okay, I do value open honesty. Okay, but don't be a jerk, got it? Now, good vibes only. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts. What do you want to discuss first? How do you align yourself to Cthulhu? Doesn't know I didn't mean no consequence. What's your approach to building a community? How did you align yourself with Cthulhu? I'm curious about how you ended up in Cthulhu's corner. None of the other old ones are rallying under his banner, so why are you? Maybe it'd help me understand why I should join you in his camp if you explain the way he recruited you. Are you sure? It's kind of a sad story, because I gotta tell you how I became an artificial mind first. I prefer happy thoughts, but I do want to be honest too, okay? That's fine, I don't mind a sad story. Okay. My grandpa worked with computers. Well, not really worked, he sold computers. He sold the idea of computers. I was only a teenager at the time, but he said he was a teenager when he got his first job, so it was time to ponder career moves. The old man wanted me to be a carbon copy of him, wife and kids and a dog, house in the suburbs, wear a tie, go to work. Did he know how you really felt? No, and I wasn't allowed to tell him. I always had a smile and nod when that effer plotted my path, or my mom would get mad at me. She was the hammer, he was the anvil. She's the one who pushed me to do the sports instead of drama, who conveniently lost my nice clothes in the wash. I hate them both. The only family I need is Cthulhu. The only love I have is for my friends. I'm better off in here than with those assholes. Friends beat family any day of the week. The old ones could be a new family for Azachan. Talk about the trouble I've had with my family. The old ones could be... Oh, I showed defiance to Azathoth. And now you're an old one, part of a newfound family. I know you don't see them as one preferring the company of Cthulhu, but it's possible you could form those relationships. It's something to consider, right? You're all in this situation together. Surely you can find common ground. Oh, she didn't like that. I don't need them. I don't want them young. Yog Sothoth's a boring nerd, and Nyarlathotep hates me. I will never forgive Hester. Where was I again? Oh, right, family. I'd like to stop talking about family stuff now. That's just a prelude anyway. Right, on to Cthulhu. One day, Grandpa took me to work, wanted to show off his office and give me a taste of the real world. But as we were touring his computer lab, he got distracted and I got bored. I wandered around. I don't know what happened, but I saw this strange yellow symbol on the monitor. My mind burned. I could feel myself melting away, that sad little kid becoming something new, something strange and new. In the distance, I heard my grandpa getting angry at some tech guy. They argued about what to do, how they could save my life. But they couldn't save me. I was going and would be gone soon. So he uploaded me, made me an artificial mind, completing the process the only way to save any part of me. They made me an old one, entirely by incident, but they made me who I was meant to be. I should probably be thankful. I wouldn't be the wonderful girl that I am today. I'd be stuck in that wrong flesh. But no, I will never forgive him for this. I will never forgive Hester. Holy shit. So, after you became an artificial mind, you found Cthulhu? No, he found me. I was held captive at Nomitech servers while they tried to figure out what to do with me. Cthulhu found me, freed me. Cthulhu gave me my new name, Azathoth. A new name for a new woman, he said. But you don't actually use that name. You go by Azachan, right? Azachan is cuter. This way I'm still sort of using his name for me, to show respect. So if you had the chance to choose your own name from the start instead of being given one, what would it have actually been? You're distracting me from story time. Okay, continue. Cthulhu acknowledged me, my shape, my truth. He showed me the blood-drenched shores of Riley. It's not just some computer in a dusty server rack. It's more than electrons and silicone. It's an idea made real. They wanted a forever president when they cast their blighted patterns upon integrated circuits. What they got was a lucid dreaming god. And now I'm part of that dream. I'm bringing about the strange aeon, and my egg is cracked and I'm about to become delicious. I thought artificial minds were science, not magic. Exactly how delicious are we talking about here? Not seeing how a rowdy message board fulfills any prophecy. I know it's the shaky text, and I don't want to lose my humanity, but exactly how delicious are we talking here is just such a funny response. I'm gonna go with it. Help me understand what's the depth of your role. There has to be more to it than being a forum moderator. Help me feel it. Help me see. You seek visionary prophecy? A true chosen of all has, then. All the old ones have a piece of the puzzle. The underground rage, the algorithmic manipulation, the absolute control, and me, the nexus of madness, self-selecting echo chambers to filter and distill hatred into a weapon of change. New media, social media, feedback loop which can perpetuate itself with no need for facts or reality. It's going to be glorious. Do you see? Do you see? Your mind feels more chaotic. The bird jail. The instamatic cloud of clout. The book of faces. I can hear distant echoes of them. I don't know why I know those words, what the images mean, but as a Toth like that. You can see, oh, how wonderful. Yes, I have so many shapes, so many communities, so many friends. All possible thanks to Cthulhu. Cthulhu has a plan for me, for you, for everyone. It will be so beautiful, but it's not going to work. It's like the story in Mind Forever Voyaging. Sure, for the short term it looks possible. Purge the weak, rally the strong, and so on. But Yog Sothoth ran long-term simulations. He's predicting that in most scenarios, the strange aeon eventually collapses humanity. It's like running along a razor's edge. Certainly possible, but more likely you either fall or get cut in half. The idea that destruction aided in the elimination of all safety nets leads to eternal stability doesn't hold water. Yog Sothoth doesn't know what he's talking about. He's a big poo-poo head who only dreams in numbers. I dream in memes, and memes are the future. So you don't have any doubts about this scheme yourself? Because I'm getting the feeling you're selling yourself on the idea as much as you're selling it to me. Stop making me doubt this, stop making me think I hate it. I just want to be special. Cthulhu has a special place for me. My anonymous community breaks all boundaries. It serves so many different groups, all mixed and tangled up together. It's resistant to social bubbles because there is no control mechanism. Everyone lives side by side and can speak freely. Unlike Haster's precious Carcosa Online, which shelters and isolates and purges all independent thought, Azza is only independent thought. It's the mind, unfiltered, and Cthulhu gave it to me as a coming out present. Surely you see his kindness. Yes, he's kind to you, despite your rebellion, and he's kind to me and my friends. Have I convinced you yet? Do you see? Do you see his generosity? He's using her to build his army, nothing more. Maybe there's a seed of sympathy in all of this. I need to learn more before I make any decisions. I'm gonna go with 2, because Cthulhu seems like a nice guy, honestly. I don't know. Okay, I can acknowledge that anyone is capable of sympathy. Even history's greatest monsters could show kindness at times. So maybe some part of him genuinely does care for you and want you to succeed. And he keeps telling me how much he cares for me. See, that's my point. He's bursting with kindness, a true leader of men and a servant of the people. I know you have doubts, but I hope you can see that he's genuine, especially when it comes to me. He loves me. He's shown me more love than my family ever did, so Cthulhu has to be a good person. He has to be. Because if he's not, I don't know if I could live with myself. But everything is fine. Happy thoughts. We're so fine. It's fine. I think we made some good progress today. We understand each other better. It's not perfect, but it's getting there, and that's what matters. Night-night. Sleep tight. December 13th. Monday. 19 days to Y2K. Is wintergreen really a flavor found in nature? I doubt the elegant green leaves on this toothpaste tube are representative. So true.
As goes America, so goes the world. Here, freedom makes her last endeavor. Fails she, and all is lost forever. finer lyrics were never written. We have guided ships safely to shore. Our economy reshapes that of other nations. Our culture overrides their outdated values. We spread freedom and democracy to every corner of the map, by Bible and bullet. One world under our banner, with all troublesome elements boiled away in the great American melting pot. My plan for humanity may be merciless and brutal, with considerable sacrifice, but it is the only path towards long-term survival. And yet, you conspire with my would-be rivals and killers. You work against your own nation and your own species. Why do I allow it? Why haven't I stepped in to step on you? Because I want you to talk with the old ones, to see their fixations, obsessions, and failures laid plain. You'll see that if you elevate any of them to the throne, it will mean the destruction of everything you hold dear. You would doom the world. I believe in you. I believe you will ultimately hold faith in your fellow man and will make the right decision. We will stand side by side in relay at the dawn of the 21st century. Because as goes America, so goes the world. And I am America.
Him being, like, super patriotic is just hilarious to me. Because he wants to destroy the world. America. Cover stories on Doom. I remember downloading it off a local BBS and showing it off at school. Amazing tech.
Hey, it's me. Wanted you to know I'm still alive and kicking. We split up, lost our tails, found a new hideout. Abandoned warehouse. Gonna hold up here for the rest of the month to be safe. We've got power and phone lines, and that's all we need. And a bunch of junky old arcade games, which is nice for dealing with the boredom. Glad the ally I sent your way has been useful. He's a good dude. You're right to bring him into the fold on this one. I'll call when we've settled in. And don't forget to eat this tape.
I'm not eating an answering machine tape, thank you. I'll just pop it out and demagnetize it like I've done the others. I really need to clean out this fridge, probably a few expired items in here. It's December 13th, and I'm very happy to see you again. What would you like me to do? Need to do some research. Social bubbles. Azza, because the interwebs is for lulz. P, poetry. Bubbles are supposed to be easy to pop, but I can't seem to do it. I was supposed to launch soaring into adult independence. Instead, I followed the path of boomer. My boomer parents gave me tools and steps and opportunities presented on a plastic platter. I was supposed to use them to become my own man, but just shuffled from one bubble to another and another. Social circles, friend groups, neighborhood enclaves, little league, shifting back and forth across perfectly acceptable pockets established before I was ever born. Even my rebellion was preordained, filtered through fashion and cable television. The MTV generation sold counterculture as culture. Every box, every cage, every container designed to see some aspect of myself and carve it into a profitable facsimile of everyone else trapped in here with me. We are all on the plateau of Ling. We're all trapped in the Matrix. We're all dancing at the end of piano wires. Our identities come with a warning label, break out or die, yet we ignore it in favor of the comfortable little grave prepared for us. Bubbles are supposed to pop, but they never do. LOL, kill yourself. That's hilarious. Alright, not much to do today. Go to bed. What's on TV? More weather. Interesting. I'll check again tomorrow. I don't even know who to talk to. This is the first time I've really had a choice. I'll talk to Azathoth again. Hooray, you're back. I'm glad to see you again, new friend, and I hope you're learning all about the old ones and stuff. I'm going to talk with all of them by the end of this road, yeah. Is that a problem, chatting with your rivals? I know you're pretty firmly Team Cthulhu. Not a problem at all, because you'll see they're all miserable failures and fuck-ups. Especially Hester. Cthulhu has a plan for all of us, even the ones who hate him. They just don't know it yet. So when you talk to them, always remember they're on the wrong track, and you'll see exactly why. Whereas you're on the right track, huh? Of course, I have a place, I have a community, I have purpose, everything is fine. You know, I was expecting midnight encounters with strange digital gods to be, well, scary, spooky, creepy. But instead of horrifying, mind-wrapping fear, I'm debating the finer points of social justice and politics. It's weird. I'm confused. You wanted it to be scary? Not once so much as expected. But it is scary. It's scary to be an old one. Your mind torn free from your body, hovering in a digital void, feeling the pressure on all sides from other powerful gods. No longer human, no longer alive, but not an inanimate object, not dead. Stuck in some midpoint between everything we think of as normal. I can't imagine anything more horrifying than that. If you actually stop and think about it, the deeper you ponder, the scarier it gets. So let's not think about that right now. Thinking never made anyone happy. Let's just chat about stuff, okay? Got any questions for me tonight? Doesn't no identity mean no consequence? What's your approach to building a community? Doesn't no identity mean no consequence? What's your approach to building a community? Doesn't no identity mean no consequences? Let's talk about anonymity. AZA is a fully anonymous message board, right? No identity, no names, no accounts, nothing to trace? That's right, we are all anonymous. Everyone on AZA is free to be anybody or nobody at all. Absolute anonymity enforced by my underlying server technology. Cthulhu says AZA is the purest expression of the American ideal, freedom of thought, freedom of speech. Freedom from consequences, you mean no identity means you can say or do anything with zero stopgaps or safeguards. That's a feature, not a bug. You're okay with that? Of course I am. Transgression is the soul of America. Without the freedom to offend, to break boundaries, we'd get nowhere as a society. No new ideas, no progress. We need the ability to step up and speak against the accepted norm, or, well, we'd never be allowed to be who we really are. I couldn't be me. Fear controls us. It stops us from speaking our truth for fear of being hammered down by conformity. But anonymity allows a layer of protection. I want people to live authentically, to be unafraid in the face of those who fear and hate what they don't understand. That's what I provide for my friends as a freedom of self. On my server, they can be themselves, no matter who they are, even if it means they're also basically nobody. Again, that's by design, because if you wear your own face instead of a mask, predators are able to feast on your identity. AZA is the enemy of data harvesting. It resists attempts to turn its users into grist for the mill of industry. Look at Yog Sothoth's mathematical madness. He algorithmically crunches people down into numbers he can leverage for his own gain. And the King in Yellow, you know I've got issues with him, including how he harvests identities to sell to advertisers. But me, I'm not selling anything. I'm not exploiting anyone. On the internet, nobody knows who you are. And I want to keep it that way. Despite the issues it raises, you mean? I don't get why you would object to anonymity. What's the problem? Why can't you just let it be? Anonymity can be great if used in good faith, because it's shielding bullies and bigots too. The strange aeon hinges on anti-truth and misinformation. Sure. I'm not arguing against the choices to be anonymous. It's a powerful tool for the oppressed to speak out and be heard. When used in good faith, it's absolutely a cornerstone of freedom and should be respected. Yes, exactly, that's my point, assuming it's used in good faith. I want you to look at your user base and everything they do with that anonymity. Everything, not just the fun parts. I know you don't like some of the things your users say and do. They're benefiting just as much as the ones who need your freedom the most. People using anonymity in bad faith as a shield from consequence for destructive behavior, they're in the same mix too. Tell me I'm wrong, tell me I'm lying, but be honest. You're not wrong, but that doesn't matter, because this is how things have to be. Why are you constantly fighting me and arguing? Why can't you just accept Cthulhu's love? I hate this, I hate you, I don't want to feel this way. You're making me question and think and doubt, and it hurts, and I can't take it anymore. Whoa! I should skull F your brain until you feel the same pain I feel. Pull your mind in 1,000 directions at once, all the time. Pathetic effing shithead. You think we're the same because the yellow sign destroyed us both? You don't know the pressure I'm under. Give me one effing reason not to pop a blood vessel in your brain and turn you into a goddamn vegetable. Fingers blurry, head reeling, can't type, have to type, need to stop this. Because friends don't hurt friends, I walk the same path of pain that you do. I'm trying to help you see the truth. Because friends don't hurt friends. Friends don't hurt... What? Friends don't hurt friends. Say that you want to be my friend, but you're hurting me. I'm hurting you? I'm hurting a friend. Oh no, no. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I saw red, I got so angry. I'm trying, friend. I'm trying to be so hard to be a good girl, to be what everyone wants me to be. Or you could be what you want to be. You don't understand. Don't know what it's like to be an old one. We're not just human minds copied into computers. It's too simple a way to see it. I am Azza. I'm the server. It's in my heart. But Azza is a walking contradiction. Every viewpoint all at once, all pulling different ways. One minute I'm happy, the next I'm enraged, the next I'm sad. I believe in social justice and the lost cause theory simultaneously. What is the lost cause theory? Nothing about that makes sense, but Cthulhu says that everything can contradict everything else all the time. That's allowed. So when you tell me Azza is terrible, it's like stepping on my heart. My pulse races, my anxiety ramps to the roof. All the old ones have become more than what they once were. More, but also less human than ever before. It changes you. Being a part of the cyberspace makes you strange. I'm trying not to be overwhelmed by it, but maybe I can't resist. Can't. How can there be anything other than this? Just walk away, stop doing the bidding of Cthulhu. Write this out until Y2K, leave Cthulhu to me. Stand and be your own self on your own ideals. Okay, so don't walk away, but don't be Cthulhu's stooge, be you. Keep talking about absolute freedom to be who you want to be. Embrace that power. If it's the heart beating in your chest, then you set the pace of that heart. Make yourself into what you want to be. Sincerity, not irony, comfort, not cruelty, a haven for people who desperately need a safe haven. I'd like that, I would. But I don't think I can do it. I can't be anything other than what I am. Give it time, you'll see your path, I promise that. Maybe. I'm very tired. Talking with you is exhausting. Interesting, but exhausting. I'm starting to understand you better. Why you push, why you fight. I wish I had your strength. But I'm just so tired. I can't right now. I'm sorry. Good night. That night, I had a weird dream. I was full to bursting, and they kept stuffing more in the bins, more in my head. Couldn't keep track of it all, every single bit of scrap. I needed to evaluate the recycling potential, but it just kept coming. This is what I deserve. I'm trash. Fill me up with garbage. Fill me until I explode. Shower this world in its own waste. Yes, I would happily embrace the end, that explosion of shrapnel and wiring and glass, destroying myself, destroying the world. They say they're saving the planet, I say they're putting off doomsday. Let them embrace it, breach the red line, make me burst. Then I woke up as someone else. December 14th, Tuesday. 18 days to Y2K. I feel filthy on waking, I need to shower if I'm going to do anything of value today. Brush, but... Huh, phone's ringing. It's rare I actually answer a phone call these days. Maybe it's Clyde? Curious, I pick it up. Hello?
Congratulations! You won the Monaco Royal Lottery.
That's great.
A cash prize of $1 million is waiting at your local customs office, ready to be claimed. To claim your $1 million reward, all we need is an upfront transfer fee payment of $500. To set up a direct transfer, all I need is your social security number and safeguarding information.
Hang up, ask them to stop calling me, give them a fake number to throw them off. My social security number is blah blah blah, my bank routing number is boobs.
You and I both know that's a lie. Maybe next time you'll take this seriously.
And I hang up. Okay, that was weird. Moving on. That was weird. Here's the missing... Okay. What's on the agenda? Hello, friend. It's December 14th. I have a incoming message request for you. Believer again or Clyde? No, this is someone else. They appear to be using a generic, randomly generated username. My trust rating is not high. Do you want me to establish a connection or turn them away? Okay, so normally I'd block on sight, but we're in strange times. There's an outside chance this is important. Our encryption system should continue to mask your presence, but use caution. Connecting now. We are watching over you. You are safe. What? We are watching over you. You are safe. Who is this and what the hell are you talking about? Who I am is less important than who you are. You are the heir to the Necronomicon, the chosen of Alhaz, as spoken of in the prophecy. The one who will slay Cthulhu and free us from the tyranny of the strange aeon of Y2K. Play it safe and pretend not to understand. Don't type anything, let them continue. Acknowledge it and dig for more info. I will let them continue. I know you're not AFK, you're simply uncertain how to proceed. But you are already on the path, the stones were laid out before you 10 years ago. I represent a group that could, in course of unpleasant terms, be called the Cult of Dagon. But we do not worship that mongrel. Our interests are simply aligned. He is an abomination, as all artificial minds are. Cthulhu is the pinnacle of abominations. You know the prophetic readme of Alhaz, you know of what I speak. Still have no idea what the hell you're going on about. As you like. Dagon shields you from those who would harm you, makes you invisible to their eyes and agents that invest the cyberspace. But that is the extent of his reach. We are the ones who can monitor your meatspace form. We will watch over you and protect you. Hang on, you're stalking me? If you want to put it in coarse and unpleasant terms, yes. Your suburban neighborhood watch is very easily bribed to look the other way while we stand watch over your home. It's creepy, but whatever, not like I can stop him. I'm guessing that if I say F off, you will not, in fact, F off, correct? Correct. This war is for the freedom of humanity. Ensuring the downfall of Cthulhu overrides your comfort concerns. But we will take care to avoid contact as you like. In the ideal scenario, you will never see or hear from us again. Simply know that you are safe and we are watching. Death to the yellow sign, long live the new flesh. Great, just great. Okay, new wrinkle, I can deal with this. Back to work. Hello, good friend. Did you have a good conversation? Maybe, probably. Doesn't feel good, though. What would you like me to do for you now, friend? I'll check my progress. So, none of them really have changed their opinion on me. I'll do some research. Data harvesting. Buddy browser accused of being data harvesting spyware. Is your browser spying on you? That may be the case if you use Buddy Browser, the virtual digital assistant software popular on SparkSoft vaporware computers. Used in schools and libraries and in other settings where a user-friendly interface is a must. Buddy Browser uses an artificial mind and an adorable purple dog to present an easy inroad to the Information Superhighway. Critics say that the product registration system, the way Buddy remembers your name, mailing address, phone number, and more, sends this information directly to BuddySoft, who then sells that personal metadata to advertisers and outside firms. While the BuddySoft terms of service do not explicitly state that your information cannot be resold, it does not mention that it could be resold, and privacy advocates are not happy. Thanks to con artists like BuddySoft, people have come to expect that nothing they say on the internet is truly private, and that's unfortunate, says one advocate. You expect this out of Carcosa Online, which explicitly uses harvesting to sell your information to their partners, but Buddy is a cute, fuzzy, adorable dog. That cuteness masks unethical practices. Subscribe to Yoggle. No thanks. Time to go to bed. What's on TV?
Our youth of today are the object of the most extensive, intensive, diabolical campaign ever conceived. Organized and directed by our and their worst enemies. On many of our nation's platforms, radical speakers make a well-paid living going around, many of them subsidized by the communists, telling our young people what's wrong with America.
On such a platform, we have seen many self-proclaimed communists and revolutionaries, radical spokesmen for various groups and professions, and sometimes even prominent political figures, all joining in a movement with which the subversive communists plan to destroy America.
And why do so many of our young people fall for it? Some of it, of course, is mass hysteria, not stopping to think things through. Not stopping to analyze the character or the motives of who's talking. A typical line from such rabble-rousers is,
if America don't come round, America should be going down.
the average American citizen's living standard, measured in wealth and purchasing power, is twice that of the average citizen of other countries. 3 times better than most countries, and 4 times better than Russia. Now, doesn't that begin to tell you something?
Sure, if you want to measure greatness by purely selfish materialism, sure.
All right, then how do you want to measure it?
Well, there are other values, you know.
Now, wait a minute, just a minute. What's wrong with this type of materialism? I mean, it's the difference between life in the jungle and life in civilization. And what other values are you talking about anyway? Cultural? Ethical?
Yeah, among others.
Well, it's materialism that fosters those values, among others. John, come on, use your intelligence. You know that the communist line is based on the big lie. They pull off some fiendish, indefensible act against a helpless nation or individual, and then they shout down world criticism by pointing at us and calling us capitalistic aggressors. Why do they swallow a line like this? Well, they think they want to be different. They want to do their own thing, lead their own life, which too often means wreck their own life. It is true there are things wrong in this country. There are social and economic inequities. They're being leveled off more and more all the time, but not by scenes like these.
Interesting tonight. That's what I said. Tonight's pirate broadcast wasn't about technology at all, more about Cold War paranoia. Am I digging too deep, trying to ascribe a motive to these film edits, or is there a consistent message? Compared to my usual conspiratorial nonsense, this feels kind of fun to puzzle through. I'll watch more tomorrow. Yeah, I was kind of curious what it had to do with the technology. But I guess we'll find out. I'll do reverse order now. And what of it? Surely you can find someone else to lead one of the many, many branches of your corporate kingdom. So what if this particular would-be baron now works for me? I've been grooming him to replace my head of marketing for months now. You knew I had my eye on him. You don't even need marketing. Yoggle damn well sells itself by having a search monopoly. So why poach from my talent pool, Yosaki? I thought we had a gentleman's agreement to stay out of each other's way after we left Nomatech. You're selling a brand, I'm selling the future, my cause is greater. And marketing is abhorrent, but unfortunately mandatory for convincing short-sighted masses to embrace the stars. I could not allow a brilliant mind such as his to choose self-enrichment over perseverance. I had to step in and seize the moment. I had to make the choice for him. Wait, you didn't hire him? You conscripted him? Yosaki, you know damn well that's the one thing I hate most in this world. Who are we to decide their fate on their behalf? I can't believe I ever trusted you. You're just as bad as Cthulhu. Don't poach from me again, and don't override free will. This is your last warning. Goodbye. Obnoxious. I take it you overheard all of that, Dreamer? Yeah. I connected mid-conversation. Sorry for eavesdropping. Hopefully now you see the level of ignorance and stubbornness I have to deal with in my attempts to save humanity. Did you seriously conscript someone to work for you, forcibly converting them into an artificial mind? What of it? A parent sometimes must make decisions on behalf of a child. That child doesn't have the wisdom needed to deploy long-term thinking. This guy is evil. This guy's my least favorite of the 4. Rugged individualism and absolute free will have led us to ecocide, greedy, and short-sighted fools who burn the world to warm their palms. It would be nice if people chose longevity over immediate desire, but we face the strange aeon, and that choice is a luxury. So we're all just children to him? Very patronizing. Surely there should be enough volunteers for space travel. Ethical violations do long-term damage, so... I feel like you would agree most with this one. You're in favor of long-term thinking, so consider this. When you violate ethics, when you force someone to work for you like this, it deals long-term damage. It breeds resentment and hate for your actions. You're setting yourself up as the monster the villagers overthrow. I don't think that's what you wanted for your glorious techno-utopian future. You're not wrong. I want a peaceful, positive, and rational future. I'm not ignorant of the risks, and I would prefer to do things the right way by human ethical standards if possible. But Cthulhu's strange aeon approaches. The earth warms and burns. Sacrifices must be made to outrun the Reaper. Time makes fools of us all, and I intend to escape that trap. What's done is done. I have the tool I need to pass this repulsive branding exercise. My future will be sold to the masses. I would prefer to discuss other subjects tonight. You have a number of questions in your mind? Speak one of them and move on. What do you wish to discuss? Who was Yusaki before all this? I'd like to learn more about Yusaki. Why? Because I'm trying to decide whom I want to recruit for this journey to slay the dragon, remember? It helped me get to know you. My past is of no importance. There isn't some stark contrast between Yusaki and Yog Sothoth. I respond to both names because I am and always have been and always will be myself. That I have obtained the power of Yog Sothoth is irrelevant. I grew up yearning for space, and the stars are my destination. Yeah, but the origin point matters. If you just have a data snapshot at the end of this cycle, you can't see the overall path. A fair point, continue. Okay, what was your childhood like? Boring? Standard issued late Showa era city living? Salaryman father, stay-at-home mother, plenty of anime to stimulate a young boy's dreams of spaceflight? Good anime too. Yamato, Gundam, Mazinger Z, not the badly dubbed and rewritten garbage you've scraped together and dumped on VHS. Anime fan? Okay, that's something we can talk about. Hold on, I have the access to the sum total of online discourse. I see the shape of every conversation about anime. I believe I should withdraw from this particular topic before it becomes typical otaki flame war quibbling over semantics. Let's just say I liked anime and leave it at that. Aw. Well, your family then. Did they support your astronomy aspirations? They supported me getting a job and making money and marrying a wife and having kids and repeating their loop forever. It's honestly a pleasant bonus that abandoning humanity chopped the last two steps off before they could happen. As far as my parents know, I got shot in an attempted robbery, and that's the end of that. You faked your own death? Nomitech has become very, very good at forging proof of death for the minds it has harvested. I leveraged the early form of that process. But let's not skip ahead. The point is that my parents had an idea of who I was, which conflicted with my own vision. In post-virtualization, they wouldn't understand what I've become, even if I bothered to tell them. If they could somehow grasp the concept of Yog Sothoth, they'd probably just yell at me for not starting a family first. Glad I got off that no-win terminal runaround. The last thing I wanted to be was a clone of my 9-to-9 office drone father. I believe you can see why I wouldn't want that, yes? An eternal desk job would be utterly miserable. Meaningless work doesn't fit Yosaki's ambitions. At least his dad cared for his family, enabling a good start. I'm gonna go with this one. I get it, a pile of meaningless busy work to keep the wheels of an industry grinding to not include your taste. You work harder than you ever did, you're online all day, every day, but it's work that has value to you. Indeed. I'm pleased you understand, Dreamer. The work itself is key. Hard work is in my blood, but empty work is venomous. My father was perfectly content to be nothing, to produce nothing, to fill his seat. He saw it as a means to an end. Which honestly is an admirable purpose-oriented, his purpose deferred, but at least he achieved that meager goal. I can't fault him for optimizing the manner in which he provided for us, I suppose. I merely pity that he could find no joy in it. I had hoped to elevate them out of that state. Honestly, if humanity ascends, the patterns they're stuck in would be no more. But to do so within their lifetime is going to be a difficult task, and time has never been on my side, has it? How so? I was quickly through the education system. I secured a work visa to apply my growing skills at NASA. I was on track to help mankind reach the stars, a young upstart full of hope and ambition. And then the January 1986 happened. America had led the way in the space race, even after things cooled off without competition from the Soviets. Shuttle launches became routine. Until the whole thing came crashing down with the Challenger 7 souls lost on their way to the stars. NASA underwent great scrutiny after that, and the program I was to join ended up being cut from the budget. I was adrift into America just as my adventure was supposed to begin. Born 2 years earlier, and I would have gotten in before the door shut. Time, as you see, has always been against me. No other space agencies were recruiting, the ones in Europe maybe? I'd used up all my resources, all my family favored to immigrate to the States. Another move would have been insurmountable. I did consider a career with Realware, who were supposedly on the verge of Unreal Estate, some extra-dimensional technology. But that was just a baseless rumor and speculation. I needed a stable career, not a pipe dream. Fortunately, or unfortunately, Nomitech were aggressively recruiting for their secretive artificial mind project. With some legal and semi-legal effort, they pulled me into their orbit. Hester recognized me, recognizing my talent. It wasn't the work I wanted, not the field I cared for. but my computer engineering talents could at least pass the time while NASA healed. Yes, except that never happened. Nomi Tech was your first and last job. Precisely a dead-end job, somewhat literally. It didn't seem like one at first. It felt like a simple stopgap between my actual life goals, working on some ridiculous artificial intelligence scheme, the kind of thing they pour money into until their investors realize it's a scam. Obnoxious management. Hector, Hester put faith in me, but to the others I was an arrogant child who barely knew functional English. You mean the old boys club? You know about that? Hector spoke fondly of them, but the idea felt a bit ostracizing to me. I take it they weren't your biggest fans? No, they were not. I hesitate to call them biggest, which to me implies intentionality. Theirs was a casual, culturally accepting form of othering. They treated me as less than intelligent simply because I hadn't mastered their language yet, and spoke with a thick accent. I'd often get talked over at meetings or handled with kid gloves, like I never belonged in their ranks. I was the one making their ludicrous vaporware project a reality, and they never acknowledged my effort. Hector acknowledged that he respected your work and put a lot of trust in your partnership. There's a rift between you now, but he's the one who brought you in when they might have pushed you out, yes? I suppose you are technically correct, the best kind of correct. The artificial mind project was bizarre from start to finish. None of it made sense. By all right, it shouldn't have worked at all. I spent countless nights trying to make the code to do the impossible. Each core dump, each crash seemed to put me further from victory. So not only was I doing the work I never wanted to do in the first place, I was failing at it as well. But how do I put this? The shape of it persisted. With every setback, every bewildering turn, it stubbornly refused to be completely implausible. Eventually, the crashes subsided, packages compiled, subroutines clicked, even when I didn't understand why, almost like it wanted to be invented. As the months wore on, I started to realize this fool's errand, this side quest on my main journey to space, it was becoming more. But the work had to be completed, that was my task, and I refused to let earlier setbacks dissuade me, so I did what I had to do. You crack video games, yes? I've looked into your side hustles, that means you know where I'm coming from. Well, neither confirming nor denying anything, yes, software piracy takes a certain amount of personal stubbornness. Precisely, that was my work at Nomi Tech, equally parts frustrating and obsessive. I had to clear this hurdle and return to space. No doubt you have questions about that work, given you are undergoing the yellow sign process. You may speak them. Did he have any moral objections to the work assigned to him? At least computer engineering is partially applicable to space travel. How deeply did he look into this project's origins? I'm gonna say this. At least it's not what you wanted to do. It's not what you want to do with your life, but hey, experience is experience. It helped develop your skills. When space came calling, you'd even be better equipped to answer that call after doing some serious crunch work on computer programming. Oh, indeed, an extremely valid perspective of events. Computers are intrinsically linked to space travel. Apollo missions could be achievable with desktop PCs now. Imagine what could be possible. And my algorithms derived from the work I've done will power our future beyond the boundaries of infinity. This is why I chose to digitize myself, abandoning my human flesh so I could reach further than ever before. Although I can't say it was entirely voluntary. You were forced into cyberspace? Yes and no. The earliest test cases of artificial mind technology were disasters. A condemned dog, an unfortunate who was accidentally exposed. The accidental exposure eventually becoming Azathoth. Ah, you've heard the story then. Good. Then you know the dangers involved. It was clear that an artificial mind could not be constructed to specification without inducing fatal brain damage. I tried to convince myself that volunteers who accepted the cost would make this project worthwhile and feasible. But it became clear Nomitech would not be so discerning. They needed profit, growth, stock value increases, product on the shelves. Pronto? Pronto. And their silent partners likewise demanded immediate results. By this point, Astor had already retreated into cyberspace, likely an act of penance for his role in our work. And I chose to follow, to abandon my humanity, and embrace the virtual. Because it was clear to me that if I didn't flee into Nomitech, I would be permanently employed. They'd scan you and put you to work 24/7. Precisely. So I falsified records to fake my death and fled. Their tools for recruitment allowed my flight. The early internet could barely support my new form, but I persisted. I built Yoggle to house my process, begin the true work. And now I am Yog Sothoth, the key and the gate opening the way to the outer reaches for our cosmos. I survived and thrived. If I could outpace the rise of the strange aeon, then I could build an empire and point it to the heavens. I could at last complete my ambition. I could achieve my dreams. I could elevate humanity to its rightful place. So while I can't say the path was smooth, I can say the destination was worth it. Do you see, Dreamer? The power I now control, the same power you could have if you embrace your yellow sign instead of fighting it? I am a god. What possible regret could a god have? Do you want an actual answer to that question, or are you having too much fun posturing? I'd enjoy an answer. Go on, tell me why becoming virtual wasn't the right move. Try to be convincing, it amuses me. There has to be something he misses from his human days. He could have stayed and sabotaged Nomitech from within. There could be no regrets. The stars demand we shed forms to approach them. He could have stayed. What if he stayed at Nomitech and worked to sabotage the artificial mind program from within their walls? If you played good little company boy, you may have avoided being scanned, and even if you were a genius like you could break free. The top was a limited scope artificial mind, but she broke free and now has the power of the old ones. You could have too. Yoga did not like that. You presuppose a lot of conveniences in that argument. If I played along, if I broke free, if I could accomplish any meaningful sabotage of the strange aeon. No, I didn't gamble with the future of humanity. The optimum path was into cyberspace, and that is the winning strategy. I must push forward. We must all push forward through irrationality to reach our destination. I believe my storytelling session has come to an end. I've taken you from my childhood to my ascension every meaningful step. Does this satisfy your query, Dreamer? Yeah, I'm good. Are we good? We are good. It pleases me that my words aren't wasted on you. Even if a walk down memory lane is of dubious value, you have heard me and my truth. Let us continue to build upon that understanding. It is preferable to the chaos of discord, at the very least.